Good. Well, what the hell is it? It's morning. Well, depends where the hell in the world you are. But hey, welcome everybody. Dadman Walking 55 here, multitasking once again, never successfully. But hey, what a day, what a time, and all that other stuff. So I am multitasking, getting things up on our Twitch side and our YouTube side. And, it's been a weird ass day, but hey, what do you do when you've had a weird day? You go to bed, you go to sleep, wake up a little bit, and then all of a sudden, you got somebody from the other side of the world say, "Hey, let's do a stream. Why not? Hey, read my mind. Well, let me go ahead, not hold this guy way in the back. He's unrestrainable. He's the, I guess, he just tells it like he thinks. He's got class. He's got charisma. He knows everything about everything. He's the one that only the very entertaining guy from the other side of the world. What I think 12 hours away or 14 hours away. It's a great Hungry Boy. Hey, Hungry.
You are such a mensch, dude. You're such a mensch, to use the old Jewish term.
What does that mean? I don't even know that word.
Oh, okay. So when Jewish people from the old comedy situation, like 1930s, 1940s, good films, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, etc., Jerry Lewis films, they say, "Oh, this is a wonderful man." They say, "Oh, he's such a mensch. He's such a mensch." And that is the biggest compliment you can give, because that means when you say mensch in the Jewish terminology, that is like going back to Jack Kirby in comic books, who Clobby loves. It's like going back to a whole bunch of the comedians in comedy and movies that we really love. It's a person who walks in the world the way the world wants to respond to them. And that, I think, is what you and the missus really do in your show. And I won't call it a channel. I will call it a show. Just like we had good shows in the 70s leading up to what we may be talking about. We had good radio shows in the 70s and 80s. And you and Mrs., you really provide that. You really provide that. So when you say a mensch to someone, you're basically saying you're a person with love in your heart. You're a person who wants to help other people out. You're a person who wants to have the good food when you're hungry on the road. You know what I'm talking about? And oh God, when I see the biscuits on your channel, I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I was back in America now.
Yes.
I miss the biscuits. I miss the biscuits.
Oh man. Well, hey, get to Memphis, Tennessee, because I might have to show you those damn pictures. Folks, let's say we got people in this. Oh my gosh, they're coming in. It says 6, but I see a lot of names, and the chat's actually moving. Let me say hi to people real quick, okay, Hungry? And we'll tell it. Then we'll tell everybody what's going on. So, of course, the great Lisa is here, leading off. She's our leadoff batter tonight. And Brian Hepburn was here even before I thought the notice went out. But hey, Brian, good to see you. Theme Park Casual is here. Hey, kids. And he says, "What the heck are you doing up?" I will explain that in just a minute, Theme Park. Hopefully you're still around for this story, because it's a hell of a story we got here. And Emily Gangadine, howdy to you. And Carty, hello again. Carty, good to see you. Lemon Pie, hello to you. Hell back to you. Let's see. Yeah, everybody. Lisa said hello.
Moira's here.
What? Mara Kit? Meow. Meow.
Yeah.
Meow.
And Brian Hepburn brought up a great point. A mensch is a person with integrity. Yes, that is the bottom line of it. Yes, the bottom line of it. Nicely said, Brian. Thank you. And always great to see you in any chat, Brian. I love you.
Absolutely. He's great. He's a great Fortnite player, too. So, yeah, love having Brian around, definitely. So, and we got a purr back to us. So, hey, we love those purrs around here. So, hey, yeah, it's been kind of a weird day. I've been kind of, some days you don't have your best moods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of been one of those days. And I tell you what really set it off was excrement, like our friend Lisa's come up with, and it's like, I maybe had 10 or 15 DMs, and I was in the middle of talking with you, and then it was like, no, you're at limit.
No.
And I'm I'm, and since then, I couldn't talk to you. I couldn't talk to Lisa. There's a number of people I could not talk to, and it like really just ticked me off all day. So, and then
Yeah.
other things tonight. So you know what? The miss and I went outside with the hell with it. We went to see the Meg too. We can talk about that a little bit if you don't care about that in a bit. But you know, and I'm just like, I wanted to get out of the house. We had a good evening out, and then we just did that. So it's been a bad mood. I get home now. I can message everybody again. So I'm still out of funk. I went to sleep about 11:30 Eastern. I slept for about an hour and a half, and then I'm like, and then. Lisa was a nice cheerleader out there, kind of turned things around, said hi to you. And the first thing Hungry Boy says is, "Hey, Dad, man," because I said I couldn't get back to sleep. He's like, "Hey, Dad, man, you want to do a stream?"
Yeah.
That's the offer I can't refuse. The Godfather was making an offer he can't refuse. Well, that to me is like, or some people call me Stream Ho, whatever. I don't care. You know?
But I did, to be fair to you, I did tempt you with let's talk about some 70s stuff, you know,
Oh, yeah.
stuff we grew up with.
Yeah, we're gonna get in that. But even before you really, I just the whole idea stream now, sure, yeah. But let me say hello to Canadian Spider-Man who's come in. I don't know what I forgot what Lemon Pie said, but hey, good evening to us. Hey, welcome in Canadian Spider-Man. We got 9 people here on this wonderful YouTube side. We are also on Twitch, so follow us over on Twitch. Hit like and subscribe. And I don't have the misses here, so I will.
You and the misses are the best people, but the thing is, also as a credit to you and the channel you built, okay. And this channel, I swear to God, this channel in less than a year is going to be 4,000. You're 400 odd right now, but it's going to be 4,000 very soon.
How? You serious?
No, I think so. I think it's going to catch fire because. The thing is that we can get ornery here for moments, but the fact of the matter is you and the missus have good hearts in your chest, as my folks used to say. The people I come from used to say, you have good hearts in your chest. And when you do that, it engenders certain reactions from the chat, and the chat with their reactions create this wonderful organic situation, which also affects the algorithm, even though the algorithm doesn't like it, doesn't want it. The algorithm is like the Grinch from The Grinch That Stole Christmas. But eventually, guess what happens to the Grinch?
Well, you know what? We're after tonight. Yeah, we always say we're 18 plus in general because you have to play it safe because of that. The channels and the stuff they do and all that, especially late at night. So everybody's been warned. But like you said with that thing with the algorithm, I guess. Yeah. My attitude's fuck the algorithm. Sorry, my French, but I mean, it's like.
You make me laugh, man. I love that.
And I.
Funny. You and the missus both have such a great sense of humor, and that is what it's going to beat the algorithm. And I made Raquel from the Clubby's channel laugh because I refer to the Algo Beastie. That's how I call it. The Algo Beastie. It is like the Loch Ness monster of YouTube. It doesn't know what it wants to eat, but it just wants to keep eating.
Well, because it's really my attitude is see, like, and I run the risk. We actually got another sub today, so we're at 429. Let's get one more. Let's be 430. Hell, our celebration is in 2 weeks from now for 1 year. Let's get 21. Let's get 21 more and get to 450 for the fun of it. But see, I say that, but really what I mean, I know normally, we might have anywhere between 8 to 20 people at a time, but it's that 8 to 20 people that are here, especially the ones that are here every show that they can get or here most show. That's what makes my day, what makes my night. It's just these people that for whatever reason decide they want to come here, hang out and spend time with us and me.
Well, exactly. And you got this person here called Carty who's from South Africa. You are international. You're international now.
Carty. Where did Carty say South? I didn't see that in the chat, or did I just miss it?
It's up in the chat a few moments. Carty. I don't know if Carty is male or female, but says I live in South Africa, but some time zone.
Oh, it's 8:23 there. Yeah, it's the StreamYard chat. Is it in the YouTube chat? I might. Oh, there we go. Okay, there it is. Hey. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
not your
At the
fault.
same time, so
I
it's
don't know what I don't know what the hell is going on with the interaction between
yeah,
YouTube and StreamYards, but there has been, I mean, even on big channels,
yeah.
even like Midnight's Edge, there has been some mess ups happening. I don't know
Well,
what's happening. I don't
well,
know.
and the thing is, I tell my guests also try to not because the YouTube is just ahead of the StreamYard, so it's like people are greeting people, and I'm like, what? I'm not there yet. It's not there, but I gotta. I want to make sure I get everybody in here because I think I skipped around. So
Mm.
there, Cardi's here, Lemon Pie, Brian Hepburn. Of course, we don't have enough.
Spidey!
Meow, meow.
Spidey! Spidey! I love
I know
Spidey on my
exactly.
screen.
Cardi again. There was one in here. I like Lemon Pie said all the cool dudes and ladies are here. So hey, exactly, exactly. Well, I
And
got the
lemon pie let something slip, which I love. Lemon
okay.
pie says, plus, I am from yet another nation, Texas. Now, I love the context of that because
Oh my
I
gosh,
love Texans. I love Texans.
exactly. I love. Hey, Texas has given us a great new hot yuppie trend that's called Bucky's. So,
I wish
dude,
we had Bucky's here.
have you seen some of my tweets and pictures from Bucky's?
Yes, I have, and I'm very, very envious.
Well, let's do this real quick. Let me get through. Let me go back up. We'll get through there. We'll start with Bucky's a little bit before we get to the
Yeah,
other stuff.
let's do Bucky's.
All right. So let's see. I don't know. It's 2:30 in the morning. I might start cussing just for the fun of it later. So,
Oh,
folks,
damn, it's so late for you. I'm so sorry.
no, it's not sorry. It's I'm the dumbass that decided to get out of bed and do this because I couldn't sleep. Oh gosh. Oh god.
Because
Folks.
if you're a Southerner, you'll get this joke. You'll
Yeah.
forgive me for my papist guilt.
Yes. Oh god. Well, Brian Hepburn. Hey, I might talk about. I will try not to do spoilers, okay? But basically, I think if you like the first, you'll like the second. But it reminded me of a kaiju movie at the end in a way. But if you don't mind, if you don't want me to give spoilers, Brian, put it in the chat and I won't do it. I'll be careful how I talk about here. So
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Canadian Spider-Man says, well, not all are here, but hey, you know what? Go tweet it out. Call your friends, text them. Yeah, call them at whatever time. Wake them up, tell them to get out of bed, or tell them to turn on the thing while they're sleeping. It'll be good white noise tonight. Mark and I always joke about, hey, with our late night fortnights, if we put you to sleep, then we're doing our job.
Hey, if I have a fellow insomniac who's struggling to get to sleep, maybe with what I talked to you about tonight, I can bore them into sleep, and that's a good thing.
Well, I look at a good stream, one that you can relax to and stuff. It could put you to sleep and not being boring. I mean, but that you're chilled, they're relaxed, and you just drift off. You know what I mean? I look at it as a kind of a positive thing.
No, I was joking at my own expense because that's
good.
Thing.
Well, it's still afternoon for you. It's 2:30 in the morning here. So let me answer one thing from Canadian Spider-Man. The avatar here. Let me see if I can bring this up here real quick. This is like Lisa said, a banana stitch football. Yes. Originally, I was the Tiki doll from Trilogy of Terror that terrorized all these YouTube hosts for a long time. But when I decided to start streaming a year ago, my kid made me this avatar, taking a combination of Fortnite, which Peely was a banana character, which I was one of my favorite characters, and a football, and morphed them together and with some stitching in there. So that's how this came together. So, I love my kid's work. Does a good job. So.
I think it is a gorgeous piece of art, and it is very conceptual, and I like conceptual.
I will have to tell the kid that because that is really.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
Exactly. So I will. They call it Continental or CSM. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Canadian Spider-Man said, I do want to backpack around South Africa. I've only been as far as Morocco. Well, I've only been as far as the Bahamas. I've never left the U.S. since then. It's the one time. And boy, I was on a teenager, and I was the only teenager in the old people's group. And it was like, God. And this is the early 80s when there was one video game on the whole machine. So, Canadian Spider-Man. I don't know anything about Fortnite, so it's supposed to be 14 days. Uh, oh my gosh. So yeah, okay.
That's a joke. That's good. See, the thing is, in Canada and Australia, we still use the word fortnight, and so that's the joke he's making. So,
Uh,
fortnight is 2 weeks.
yeah,
You do the work in the fortnight, and I
yeah.
love that. God, I love
Yeah,
Canadian.
Brian, I will not talk about it then. If I would rather have you here than talking about it because Hungry Boys hadn't seen it either. If I do say something, I'll try to keep it general and on the edge, and not spoil it for even Hungry Boys. So, but because I'd rather have you guys here than talk about them.
No,
It's
no,
not a
no,
formal movie review.
no, wait, hold on. You can spoil it for me. That's fine because I
Yeah,
know there's not going to be a lot of great dialogue moments that are going to be spoiled. Okay, I
yeah,
know what kind of movie this is going to be. It's going
yeah,
to be a kaiju movie. It's going to be a giant monster movie, and it's going to be an action movie. So I'm fine with
yeah.
that.
And
Okay, you
that's
can,
that. What Hungry Boys talking about is from the clips we've seen out there already. So
yeah.
exactly. So
And also, there's no Ruby Rose in it, so I'm going to be happy with the movie no matter what happens.
oh man, and hey to Fletcher Williams at Second Games, folks. I hope I've greeted everybody coming in because this is kind of fun tonight. So,
The Ruby
uh,
Rose is an Australian embarrassment. I mean, she made all this money being a YouTube VJ and being a model, and she didn't put any of that money into going into NIDA, which is our version of the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. She could have done that, right? And she complains about not getting jobs anymore. So you know what? You pays your money, you takes your chances, as the Americans would say. So you don't want to be a real actress, you're not going to get a job as a real
who
actress.
did
You're
you?
not
I missed the name. What name was that again?
Ruby Rose.
Oh
So she was in the Meg one. She
no,
was in the
stop.
first.
Okay, damn it. I was thinking we were about to start having a talk about the Fifth Element. Ruby Rod, Chris Tucker.
I prefer Ruby Rod to Ruby Rose, and I hate Ruby Rod.
Vanessa, Vanessa,
Oh,
those are
Ruby
bad
Rod is
guys.
great. Ruby Rod is great. I mean, like I said, you and Appion, okay. You changed my mind on that movie. I just admit that right now.
Hey,
I
where's
can change my
Appion?
mind.
Hey, where's Appion? Hey, gotta tag him to
Oh,
hear him. Well, good. Well, see, that's productive thing of YouTube. All we have is the hate and bitching and moaning and complaining.
I
Well,
know.
we've
I know.
done one thing out to change one mind at a time. So we're
Well,
successful.
I mean, to be honest, and you're
Yeah.
you're gonna spit chips. That's an Aussie term. You're gonna spit chips
Okay.
about this. But there are people who hate killer clowns from outer space.
Oh gosh.
I
Yeah,
don't.
I know. I
I
love it.
I mean, like, get a grip. Get a grip. I mean, how can you hate this movie? There is nothing to hate about Killer Clowns.
No, it's just adorable and just what I mean. Even if you don't like clowns, it's just so far fetched that it's just a good fun time to be had by all. I mean,
And
they're
it's so
harmless little clowns.
creative. It's so creative. I mean, the thing that we talked about when we did the stream is that moment with Howard Vernon as the sheriff, and he's being used as a ventriloquist dummy. It's so awful, but it's so funny. I mean, it's so brilliant. It's so
I tell you
brilliant.
what, I would love to show that. I would really love to show that scene, but because of the benevolent overlords out there, that
Yeah.
you know, you got to be careful what type of graphic scenes you show and stuff like that. But here, for all you people, we do have a stream where Hungry Boy and I talked about this wonderful classic movie from the
Gorgeous movie.
80s. Yes, exactly. And here, hey, who doesn't love clowns?
Oh,
And they got little pies. So Brian says Motel Hell is pretty hilarious too.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I might have to check that out.
It's
But
a little gory. It's a little gory. It may be a bit too gory for you, but it is a worthwhile film. I can verify that Motel Hell is a decent film to watch, but it is a little over the top. A little over the top.
Yep, I got you. And who mentioned clams? No,
Mark.
no. Canadian Spider-Man's mentioning it. No, all of a sudden, Lemon Pie's right on. Is Mark here? Damn it, Mark! You're not even here, Mark. We had that fun with Mark. Where's JT Kirk? Yeah, I should have tagged JT Kirk on this one that we're live in case he can stay up. So, oh my gosh! But hey, I like Max Redstone. I've hit the big time when you got somebody like Max here. You know,
Max is here. Oh God, I love you, Max. Oh
yeah.
I love you, Max.
What you doing with them pies, boys?
Oh, nice. Nice. Max has great taste in things, and also, I mean, what he brings to the Klobby channel, no other channel has. And I know you don't like compliments, Max, but you know, the thing is, when you do something right, you got to take the compliment. Okay, Max, you got to take the compliment. And when you do things right, you really do things right, Max. And you are considerate, and you are appreciative of other people, and you really, really, and I know this is a big compliment, so please don't hate me for this, Max, but you make the internet better. You really do. And I thank you for it.
Yes, absolutely. Because I tell you what, I did get quiet. I am multitasking a second. But yes, I tell you what, Max did a limerick in one of my early streams. I don't. It's been a while back, and
cool.
I felt like I hit the big time. Because it seriously, because he does it like on Klobbies, and it's like a big thing for Max, what he's known for, and for him to I can't remember if it's a Fortnite or a regular stream, whatever. But when you have somebody like that takes the time to, yes, you do raise the bar, Max Redstone.
Yes, you do raise the bar.
Do.
Yes, you do.
Yes,
you do, Max.
Yeah, exactly. And he does like the compliments, so we'll keep the compliments coming. So
Max, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being sarcastic. Okay, you are like the Jeff Goldblum for the Klobby channel. You are that clever. You really elevate everything that we're enjoying, but you do not make us feel like we have to engage in Scrabble words. And that is a true talent, and that is a true true mark of the heart of a person, where you're just giving to something without trying to change something, and I really appreciate it.
And you keep it nice and simple for us people south of the Mason-Dixon line, since all those people up north think we're idiots.
Don't you do that. Don't you do that. You and I privately have spoken about how I do not like the way people south of the Mason-Dixon.
I like to poke them a little bit. I just like to poke them a little bit. So, but hey, we talked about movies. Canadian Spider-Man says he's not a fan of watching scary movie, and I think that that Lemon Pie said the same thing there too. I'm mixed on scary movies. I like In the Mouth of Madness, where it's something psychological, where it's shaded and stuff. I don't really like I don't like the slashers. So
slashers. I mean, this is something I get in trouble with all the time. I say slashers.
Oh, look at this one. Killer clams only feel killer tomatoes.
Oh my God. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I've seen both the original and the sequel, and they are hilarious. They are hilarious. But you are right on slasher versus horror. So real horror is something like Bride of Frankenstein. Okay. And also a lot of the Italian horrors, like Baron Blood, which had Elke Summer in it, which added to the sexy value. But when you're just a guy who puts on a mask and has a machete, that's not a horror film, because there's no brain in it. There's no brain in it. There's no smarts in it. It's just what, I don't like you for what you're doing. So guess what? I'm going to hack you up. That's not real horror. That's not real horror.
Yeah, we saw a couple that in the trailers tonight One was for the Nun 2, and we will get to Bucky's and all a little bit. But folks, we have no
Yeah.
script tonight. We're going to be 80. We're going to be squirrel chasing all the time. So that's kind of what, and that's why I like hanging with you, Hungry Boy, is that we can do that and just fly naturally with wherever we go. But they had it one, the Nun 2. I even screamed. It was a jump scare. It was like, I was like, okay, that got me there. It was not graphic or gory, but it was really intense with the music for especially the trailer. It had me jumping, and then there was another one that they did. I just don't. There's I guess another Saw one coming out, and I'm like, really? And it's like, please, we don't. It's I don't. And the two were different. One was kind of illusionary to the scary nun, and then you see arms, but then the other had more graphic in the trailer, and it's like one scared me, the other one just turned me off, and I didn't even want to look at it.
Max is cracking me up in the chat.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, I thought he was going to sing the Chia Pet song for that with that one. Exactly.
Oh my God, Max.
Oh gosh.
Spidey. This is almost a whole topic for a stream. We can't.
I know. I don't know. We got however long I can stay up. So hey, I got
we might have to revisit this for later and talk.
Well, I don't know, Hungry. I'm known for 4-hour streams, so I mean, I could be going when the sun's coming up. But hey, Aliens was as scary as I can do. Our Ghostbusters Sigourney sitting on the armchair. Oh, I misread that. So. Hey, Sigourney sitting on anyway. Aliens, yeah, I loved Aliens. It was a great shoot 'em up, blow 'em up movie. That's a movie I need to talk about sometime with somebody.
I know, but it's not a horror film. It's not a horror film. Now, I'm sorry, Canadian Spider-Man. I'm sorry. But the original Alien,
God,
1979, that was a horror film.
Yeah,
that was a horror film.
The Aliens was more of an action, and I think that's why I liked it better. I'm more the action, like I've talked about over at Star Trek on Klobby's channel. Is that I'm a sci-fi. That's why I'm in the Star Wars side more than the Star Trek area, and it's just a thing like that. And I understand those two different movies. I liked Aliens better, and I tell you, I think that is one of the reasons why I have not liked any of the other Aliens movies. Well, they suck for one thing, but it just how that that goes. It just So anyway, yeah, I was typing a message.
Wait. What about Aliens? Okay, we're going to ignore Aliens 3, which annoys me altogether.
Yeah, we're going to run around a whole damn prison colony with damn blowtorches and somehow defeat a damn alien.
And the alien is taking its form from a dog. I mean,
it's like shit.
Fair. But Aliens 4.
Yeah, I understand though, Canadians. I understand people have limits. I understand that. But yeah, Aliens 4, which I don't even remember the fourth Alien movie. Is that the one where?
Okay, that was the one that had the guy who played the villain. Who I actually really like this actor who played the villain from The Crow, and he was in that. And Aliens 4 has. The scene where the clone of Ripley comes into the experimental scientific room and sees all the attempts to create a hybrid of the xenomorph, the alien, and humans, and it is a highly horrific scene.
Yeah.
But you have Ripley, played by Sigourney Weaver, the clone of Ripley, being challenged in basketball by the butt heads of the movie.
Oh gosh, yeah.
She turns around. She turns her back to the basketball ring, and she tosses it over her shoulder and gets it through the hoop. And apparently, according to all recollection, she did that physically. It was not a falsified scene.
Wow.
via filmmaking standards.
Hmm.
So the fact and Sigourney Weaver played basketball in college.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
because she's like the one of the few women in Hollywood who is 5'11", 6 foot, and so the fact that they brought that into the movie makes it special to me.
Hmm.
And the fact that Brad Dourif, and he's one of my favorite character actors. I love Brad Dourif. He's in Deadwood.
Hmm.
He's in a whole bunch of other stuff. I love Brad Dourif. Anything that Brad Dourif is in, I'm gonna watch. I'm just gonna watch it.
And Alien, it was not Sinead O'Connor. They were all bald. This was the one, wasn't it? Winona Ryder was in it, or was Winona Ryder in the fourth one?
Yeah, in the fourth one.
The fourth one. Okay, that's the one with the alien. Okay, all I remember with Alien 3 was all the bunch of bald dudes running around with, and she shaved her head too, and it just was like, we got blue torches or some crap. It was like, that was another pain movie. So okay, Winona was in the fourth. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're probably going for a while. We're just gonna sit back, put your feet up, get your drink, sit back and relax, and we're gonna go. I don't know. We'll see how long we go. I might
7% cider. All right.
open an IPA. Wow. Okay. All right. So
that
hey,
is something. That is another holding point between Canada and Australia. We have the hard cider here.
Just do everything responsibly. Make sure you're all safe. Do it responsibly, because here at Dad Man Walking 55, we're actually we I don't drink, so but hey, just glad y'all are sitting back, hanging back, and we've already talked about 5 different topics we're going to talk about, but haven't settled. But Muppets versus Alien, yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That definitely was great. So,
Max, when we start talking about the 70s, Max, I want you to pipe in. I want you to pipe in, Max, because I mean, when Max is going to start talking about the 70s, we know we're going to get some good stuff.
Yes, well,
some good stuff.
Yeah, let's see here with this real quick. Let me. We had talked about a little bit of Buc-ee's. Okay, so since we talked about the Great Stick of Texas. I said steak, I think. I meant state. Yeah, exactly. Just be responsible. But hey, you ready for some Buc-ee's love?
Buc-ee's!
Buc-ee's! And of course, they got a big beaver out in front of the store. We got 11 people with us at 2:50 in the morning on the East Coast. Thank you, folks. Sit back, enjoy the ride for whatever we're going to do. Hey, be the next person to sub the channel. We'll be at 240. Yeah, or no. God, I'm forgetting numbers now. 430, I think. Yeah. All right. So, but hey, be that special 430 number. Oh God, I guess that 430 is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or if it's a 420. All right. But before we do this, so let me see. Max Redstone says, I read three or four words in Screen Rant's article about the filth and thought, gee, Star Trek V has really stood the test of time. Oh gosh. Yes, and don't do that. But you know what, Hungry?
Yeah.
I got a surprise.
Okay.
We're going to add some grace and class to this program. How about that? You good for that?
I don't know about that.
Folks, you know her. You love her. She's the person that stayed up 24 hours with me playing Fortnite. Somehow, some way managed to do it. The woman that keeps she's a great Fortnite friend and keeps the chats everywhere on fire and everywhere she goes. So the great Lisa from YouTube. Hey, Lisa.
Lisa, mistress of the Bumbles. Oh, thank God.
Hi, Hungry. How are you?
Oh, I love you. Hello.
Hi, sweetie.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Dad Man. What are you doing out of bed so late?
I woke up, finally could respond to Hungry Boy, and was not able to get back to sleep. I was kind of awake, and the first, literally, let me find the daggum DMs, because we were doing this, and he, let me see, what is this? Okay. I said, "Hey, friend, I'm up late tonight," and I basically said I went to bed and just woke up. And he said, "LOL, want to stream about the bad Ghostbusters?" First thing out of his mouth, and you know me, when somebody says let's stream, damn right I'm going. This other man's got a gear and he's ready to use it. But hey, good to see you tonight, Lisa. How are you feeling? How was your day today?
I'm exhausted. I just wanted to come and pick on you a little bit.
I pick away. We love it. It makes it even more fun, a lot better. So, but glad you came by though, Lisa, to join us for a bit. We don't know how long we're going. We have no script, you know.
I think that's what I like most about it. It could go anywhere.
Oh,
Can I give a compliment to Lisa, please?
Well, but Max is warning, no, don't cross the streams. Well, too late. We specialize in crossing the streams here.
Max is killing me. Max is so funny. I love Max. But Lisa, can I give you a compliment? No, sorry. May I give you a compliment?
I would love a compliment. Who wouldn't? Heck.
Okay. Now, if the Supergirl television series had you providing the voice for Supergirl, it would have gone on another season, darling.
Oh. They murdered that character, didn't they? Holy crap.
I don't care what they did to the character. I'm here to compliment you. Okay. I mean, I love your voice. My God, that's a nice voice, Lisa.
Well, thank you.
That's all cool. Hey, now ultimately the chief thing that I've been told when I worked for many years is like learn how to delegate, how to multitask and delegate this, that, and the other. So you know what? I could just sit back now, put my feet up. I could go ahead and start snoring and let you two carry the show. But
no, don't do that.
Delegation. I'm just. It's a joke.
You're the director of this train wreck. You can't go anywhere.
I know. Well, exactly. I keep getting hungry when I see that name, Lemon Pie. I mean, you know, ooh, you know what?
Pie.
Hey, let's do this. And I hope, let me, and I am multitasking. So let's do this real quick. Let's do food. Okay. Since we're about to talk a little bit of Buc-ee's, let's do this real quick. I'm going to put a poll out there because I always like to put my poll out there.
You always put out your poll whenever I show up. What the heck?
I do it all the time, no matter who's here. It's like
Fortnite. It's poll this, poll that.
Well, it's
streaming. It's poll this, poll that. He keeps whipping out his poll everywhere I show up.
Oh my God! Just in time for the great JT Kirk.
JT, get your butt in here.
Hello, JT. There's too many polls here, JT. Come on, JT. Come in here and take away these polls.
What's your favorite pie? Okay.
I can't dance this poll alone.
All right. I'll give you a second. Okay. Cherry, Hungry Boy, what's your favorite pie?
Oh God. I've got like 5 favorite pies. So number 1 is Loganberry, which I encountered in California. I like a chocolate cream pie. I absolutely love a key lime pie. I love a key lime pie. And then we got a properly spiced pumpkin pie. And then we have no, I won't add the last one. I've changed my mind.
Do it.
So
just add it.
No, well, there's one. Hey, Lisa, do you have a favorite pie?
The chocolate cream pie is my all-time probably favorite.
Right. Okay, here's where I'm going to go with it, since y'all agree. Cherry pie, chocolate cream pie, pumpkin pie, and key lime pie.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey,
there's what about lemon pie? He's right in the chat. You can't ignore lemon pie.
Right there, yeah. Lemon pie, yes.
That'd be like lemon lime pie.
Anything citrus, I like.
Yeah.
Anything with berries.
Well, let's get rid of pumpkin pie. We'll make it hard. We'll do lemon pie and key lime pie. Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Just to make lemon pie happy.
I agree. I agree with that. We love our viewers around here. And hey, okay, the poll is out there. So, what is your favorite pie? Cherry pie, chocolate cream pie, lemon pie, key lime pie, and yes, I avoided the very adult theme, and I won't say it. So, anyway. So anyway, folks, we got 10 people here. Let's see. I'm trying to multitask. So, but um, I know Lisa. She's laughing. She's like, "Dad, man, are you multitasking?" Yes. It's like this lady's got ears like a hawk because she's identified when I'm eating out of a bowl on Mark's show, or one night I had pistachios. And I'm like, "How do you do that?" It's like they make distinctive noises, and I'm like, "What?" It's like, man, can't fool her, you know.
And then
hey,
anytime anybody's like chewing on something in a stream, I'm like, what are they eating?
I'm
There's
trying.
no fooling Lisa. There
Nope.
is no fooling Lisa.
I am trying to do better about doing that, though. I'm trying to better not to mute a little bit more when I do go to eat. So, all right. So I did send the link to JT Kirk, but hey, let me get back to the chat real quick because, of course, JT comes in. Where's our damn it, Mark greetings? All we need is Mark here now at some point. Yeah. Oh gosh. Hey. So let's see. Yeah. Max Redstone says he prefers a lemon tort. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
Lemon pie says key lime is great. So exactly. I like a cherry pie. Yeah, exactly.
Cherry pies are good. You know, it's just unfortunate they got a bad reputation because of one pseudo heavy metal band making a song.
Strawberry
I'm not singing
rhubarb.
it, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, Max Redstone. Yeah, the song. Yep. I remember that one. I'm that old. So, yeah, never do that. So,
oh, yeah. Don't do that. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Canadian Spider-Man said I can make a wicked lemon pie with crust from scratch. Can't do meringue, though. See, the lemon pies I like have the meringue, the lemon meringue pies. So
my meringue lasts for like a day and then it starts shrinking.
Yeah.
And sweating.
I think it's just natural. I think because it's so fluffy that it only has a normal
1 day shelf life. Yeah, unless you add a bunch of chemicals to make it last longer.
Which we don't like chemicals. We like to try to avoid the chemicals at all costs. So, but yeah.
Except for caffeine.
Except for caffeine. Yep. Okay.
Give me that chemical.
All right. I know. Also, what if they took away all your coffee, though?
Except for Hostess, Hostess sweet pies, which Clubby loves because they were always advertised in comic books in the 70s. So, you know, with the Hostess pies, you gotta give some allowance because they got cultural cachet, as George from Seinfeld would say. Cultural cachet.
Hey, Hungry, I might have to start a nightly 2:00 podcast or something because, damn, we got still 9 people watching, and I know there are more than just 9 because of all the people that are chatting, coming in and out. Wade's here. Wade knows me. LOL, Dad Man, go eat at Waffle House. Yes, Mrs. and I could very well do that. But you know what? They have a damn good chocolate cream pie, a chocolate pie there. Yes. Believe it or not, they have did you say yes, Lisa?
I have not had Waffle House chocolate cream pie.
No, Lisa, no.
Oh, Hungry has had it then. So
I'm sorry.
It's okay. And Max Redson says, ooh, espresso meringue. That seems kind of strange. But anyway, with that, folks, before we get to the Buc-ee's, because this is so damn unscripted, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's completely randominated and just all really a big fucked up train wreck tonight. So we're going adult all the way tonight as much as we can without permanently being banned. It's the one, the only. Well, I guess he's a duplicate. Hey, Jeremy Redstone Squirrel. Hey, good to see you, Jeremy, coming
Redstone Squirrel.
Well, because our next guest comes out of nowhere, out of the blue. He's teleporting from the USS Enterprise somewhere among the galaxy and the stars. It's the great, the only, never to be duplicated, although he is kind of duplicated here, the great JT Kirk, Captain.
JT.
Hello, crewmen. As they say on Omicron Persei 7. Damn it, Mark.
And just with that appearance, Ender Drew, Jill is in saying hello.
Hi, Jill.
Hello, Jill. Oh, man, you kicked ass on Clubby's channel today, Jill.
Yes.
You kicked ass. Oh,
Yes.
it's beautiful.
I'm sorry I missed that. It was a long day, and I went to bed when we got home, and I woke up literally at the second he was closing. I did not realize how just in time I was on that one.
Yes.
Definitely not like the U.S. Post Office. So hey,
But
well, let me
also, to be fair, because I always have to be fair, Lisa kicked ass on Clubby's channel today, too.
Lisa,
Aw.
Lisa and Jill are always kicking ass. So teleported, and let me say hello to somebody new, Beetle Jesse. Hey,
Hi, Beetle Jesse.
Otherwise known as Beetlejuice. Yes.
okay, good to see you. Hey, welcome.
Don't say
folks.
the name 3 times. I'm just cautioning.
Nice.
Oh yes, exactly. Oh my
But-
goodness.
Hello
So-
there, Hungry Boy and Lisa.
Hello, my
And-
man.
Hi.
Hello, my
The
man.
great dad man. It's good to be chatting. I can't stay super long, but we'll see where it
You
goes.
got the voice, man.
Exactly. Well, we're going to start with Bucky's about, I guess we're about half an hour later, or no, 45 minutes later. We still have not hit our first topic, and then we have not even gotten to the topics that we touched at. And Canadian Spider-Man, yes. I will say this because I've talked to some people. I know a lot of you guys mod on other channels, and I'd love to have some of y'all on at times and stuff like that, but I don't want to ask y'all to mod. I don't want y'all to feel like y'all come here to work, because I know it's got to feel good to sometimes just sit back, relax, and watch. So, you, Jill, all you mods that are everywhere else. Now, some people like Hungry Boy just start volunteering. So it's like, hey, cool, free labor. But, and it's great to have JT coming on. JT, you got a great voice. I'm jealous of.
Well, thank you. I guess I have a face made for radio, so it's good I have a voice
There you
made
go.
for radio too. There we go.
There you go. And what do you want to say, Hungry?
No, I did not volunteer to be a mod on.
No, I know. Hungry.
Don't be and I will.
Hungry. Don't take me literally tonight. Don't take me hungry. Don't take me literally tonight. I know you hadn't volunteered to be a mod. I'm just embellishing everything.
I know, I get it. But I just want to reaffirm. I just want to reaffirm, because I love giving compliments to my friends. That Clubby just said, "Hey, you got a wrench," and I'm like, "Okay."
There you go. And Lemon Pie says, "JT, this guy sounds as cool as JT Kirk himself." So, but hey, all
Well, I'm
right.
flattered. Thank you, crewman.
Yeah, modding ain't hard, but you know what? My point is I like the people feel like they can just come and chill out and relax, that you don't have to do something, you don't have to watch. One thing that I love in the chats is being able to go in and just be able to do work, have noise in the background when I have to mod on channels, because I've just been giving them, I feel like I have to pay a little bit more attention, especially if you're on a Fortnite, modding anything Fortnite. It can get crazy. So, well, let's do this real quick. Cardi asked a question, and since it asked a question, and if y'all want to ask questions, I'll try to get to them a little bit. We can hit them within reason, but to each of y'all right here, before we hit Buggies, what is the best movie y'all have ever seen?
Oh, that's an easy one. The Wrath of Khan. I won't
Okay.
scream Khan because I do have people sleeping in the house, but
That
that movie does it all.
Can I share a story real quick with that?
Go for
the
it.
first time I played a game called Dead by Daylight that was like near midnight once, I
Mhm.
screamed so loud because I jump scares. My oldest kid came in and was like, "Dad, shut up. You're too loud. We're trying to sleep." I'm like, I can't help it. So
That
trying to
is
keep it
definitely
cool.
not the game. That or the sequel. You do not want to play that after the sun goes down.
Oh my goodness! So it's crazy. It's crazy. So okay, con for JT Kirk, Hungry or Lisa. You want to take that next?
Go for it, Hungry. Oh, he's muted. So,
No. Here, I would
go ahead.
like to hear Lisa's answer first before I go on.
well, somebody asked this like a couple days ago, and I gave like the lamest answer ever because I just watched the movie, and it was About Last Night with Rob Lowe and Demi Moore.
Oh, nice choice.
But I just watched it, and so I was like, yeah, that's my favorite. What was my favorite movie for that day, I guess. But it's not my all-time favorite.
Oh.
And then I came to the conclusion I don't have a favorite.
Yeah.
Because I just am a connoisseur of. I never had an idol or a hero. I never had a favorite. really much of even food. So I'm one of those people that can't pick a favorite, if
I
that
get
makes
it.
any sense.
Okay.
I
Or
get
is
it.
there any? I mean, even if you can't pick one, is there one that you could say is like one of the top ones?
Well, at the time, the coolest thing I've ever seen was Matrix.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I think that would be the closest. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna jump in on this one real quick. Hungry while you're thinking about that. Cardi said is Bali. I'm not. Hopefully, I got it close. It's Telugu. I've noticed that the theater we went to tonight, the Cinemark chains, they have a lot of the Indian and Telugu. I did not know what that was, but they have a lot of those movies running routinely now.
What is
Uh,
that?
I'm not. It's a foreign language film. I'm not sure if that's Indian
It's
as
from
well.
India.
Okay.
Like I don't know if it's specifically Bollywood or not, but looking at the wiki, it actually looks like a pretty cool movie. But yeah, it's from India.
Yeah. So it just amazed me. That's one thing since everything started reopening. It's like I don't remember these type of movies. Uh, getting into American theaters like they are now, and they're run regularly on at least. There could be like 3 different foreign language films now in one theater.
Yeah.
Really? I haven't
Yeah.
been to a theater in years, so
Well, I
that's
tell you,
news to me.
well, we Florida never really closed down. It closed very briefly, but in 2020 there were a lot of repeats of the old movies like Raiders and stuff. 40th anniversary of Empire. One of them was the 800, which was I think it was a Chinese Chinese subtitle film with the Sino-Japanese War in roughly 1938 around Nanking, I think, and it was an interesting story, and it was interesting to see films from other countries come in, actually hitting the screen um, in that time. So, all right, Hungry. What about you? What about your favorite film of all time? I know it's not The Village, though.
Oh God, I hate that movie. But yes, I would like to, before I give my answer, Canadian Spider-Man is absolutely correct. You need
Oh
to
my
choose
God.
in each genre, and that is what I do. So,
Okay.
for example, for comedy, I would choose Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. And I love that movie. I've loved it since I was a kid. I've watched it about 9 times, and always it just keeps giving. The timing, the editing is perfect, and timing and editing is necessary. But, then it kind of competes with, I know a lot of people don't like Babs Streisand, but I do. And I am a big fan of The Owl and the Pussycat in terms of a comedy film. Now, when it goes to horror, that is very difficult because there are so many subgenres of horror. So I would have to say for my favorite horror film, it would be The Fog by John Carpenter. And that is a wonderful film. And it involves folklore, and it involves timing and pacing. When it comes to action, then I would have to go with Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I think that is a magnificent film as well, as much as I like Predator, but Predator is technically a science fiction film. So we go into science fiction films, and I would have to say, and this goes along with Claudia and Raquel, etc., I would have to say it is a toss-up between It Came from Outer Space or Forbidden Planet. And when it comes to romantic films, I can't tell you because I don't give a shit.
There you go. There you go. That works. Oh man, I
I don't know what genre it is, but Smokey and the Bandit and Gator with Burt Reynolds. Okay, these are some of my favorite films.
There you go. Don't have to categorize it. You know.
Smokey and the Bandit. Now that's a biopic, right?
Oh God, I love that movie and that song. Well, you know, I'm like you. It's hard for me to pick just one. If I had to say like of horror, it would be like In the Mouth of Madness. I cannot say that word right. Horror.
He cannot say horror Amarada. It's like, dude, the chick's been giving you super chats for 3 years.
Yeah,
Get her name right.
I know, but I would say In the Mouth of Madness. Of course, that's the one. That's the one the missus picked on our second date. That's when I knew she had class and style.
I've never heard of that. What is that?
Oh God, it's fantastic, Lisa. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Sam Neill is in it. Go ahead, Congree.
Oh, the script is so delectable. The script has nuance. The script has overture. And the missus got good taste, bro. You chose wisely.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, In the Mouth of Madness is one of my absolute favorite horror films.
And let's put it this way: when at the end of it, I was left with like, did I just see that? Is this real or not? Or is it? You were left kind of like, as a movie, I sat there thinking like, is this real or not? Because you felt like the character at the end of it. It really is one that you need to see. It really works for your mind and stuff like that. You basically see somebody descending into insanity, but you didn't know if it was real or not.
Damn it, Mark.
Yeah.
But also he's descending into insanity. But
okay, hold on, real quick. Drive me like going to bed. No, Mark. I felt like talking tonight. My friend Hungry Boy said, "Hey, let's stream." So I'm like, "Sure, Mark." You know, Mark, you're going to bed already. You were up past this the other night. But hey, thanks for coming in, and everybody, give Mark a greeting with "Damn it, Mark" in the chat if you don't mind. Hey, let Mark we know. We love him. I want to get to one thing before I lose the chat again real quick. Max Redstone came up with something. I'll make sure you get this. 13 people here already. God, folks, if you're watching on Twitch, make sure you follow us, subscribe, like here on the YouTube side, but tweet it out, all that stuff. But I tell you, be number 430. All we need is one more to hit 430 tonight. But I don't care. We got 15 great people with us now at 3:15 a.m. on the East Coast. So we'll see what happens. Max Redstone says, I favorite shifts from time to time. However, I feel that my inner circle is well curated. Is that one of the limericks?
Thank you, Max.
All right. Did I read that right, or is there a way to read it?
No, you read it right.
Cool. Max, thank you. Always a pleasure. I love having you here.
And Mark also really likes a lot of good monster movies, and he likes horror movies as well. And he did a fantastic mashup clip with The Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is one of his favorite movie monsters and mine as well. So, you know, Mark knows his horror movie stuff. Sometimes he talks to Clavy and he says, this is a great movie. And Clavy's like, I'm not into that horror stuff. And
Hey guys, folks, thank y'all for being here. 15. I'm way behind on this chat tonight. I'm like seeing stuff here. We're having so much fun tonight. Canadian Spider-Man, Step Brothers, or Anchorman, Spaceball. I like parody movies too. So I'm just trying to catch up. I think I saw Western Canadian Spider-Man's talking about Westerns, Tombstone, or True Grit.
Oh, there we go.
Horror. So
Lemon pie.
Lemon Pie, Good, Bad, and Ugly for Westerns, and Unforgiven. Now, I want to touch about this one, and I might make some people mad with this one. So, but let me go real quick. Let me get caught up. Buddy Hepburn, Brian Hepburn, horror would be Creature from Black Lagoon, classic Halloween for modern. I actually did a show, a strength show and tell, where we talked about some of those Universal legendary monsters. We bought some lunch boxes and glasses from the theme parks down there a while back. So I just started that. And so, Max said, in the early 90s, when my family first got cable, we would record the movies on VHS. One evening, I happened to record PCU followed by Demolition Man. How's that for Sideways Future? Exactly.
Wow.
Daisy Blossom, and I talked about Demolition Man. I call it the movie that predicted 2020 before it ever happened.
Yeah.
Well, Taco Bell is doing rather well. They
Yeah.
will probably end up winning the food wars.
Well, if you ate there, you may or may not be doing well. And let me say hello to Alex2220. Welcome. Good to see you tonight, and glad you're here. And thanks for being here. And appreciate everybody. God, I can't believe completely impromptu tonight, and now we've have everybody here. It's so great. Dang it, Bob. Where'd Dang it Bob come from?
Can I also add something for Mark? I mean, Mark loves The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and what most people don't realize.
Oh, by the way, breaking news, Hungry. Thank you, Alex2220. And yes, we are there. Thank you. Yay. This
Now,
is just a sample of the madness that we have.
Just to make sure everybody here knows how to use the 3 seashells, right?
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, good. Oh, okay. Well,
And I don't know what the PCU is either.
It's a funny movie. Is
that the title of it?
Yeah, Pacific Coast University, I think. Isn't that what it's supposed to be?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
You guys need to educate me. I'm kind of movie illiterate.
Brian says it's actually is underrated. Hello to the great Eagle Rider. Hey.
I think it's a horror movie, Lisa. I think it's popping cystic ulcers.
No, I'm not ending it.
I don't know. It's a horror movie. PCU.
One second, real quick.
I have no idea. I'm making it up.
Oh, that was clever.
Eagle Rider, we are staying live for as long as I can stay up, so please stay around. Yeah, we are live. We are going for a while. Mark was leaving and saying goodnight. So
anything over 4 hours, we have to rush him to the emergency room.
Look, I go beyond 4 hours. I'll go 5-6 hours. I've done 24 hours. So
well, hopefully there's a nurse there that'll help you take care of that.
Well, she's back over there. So it's.
Well, I don't want to know where this is going.
No, we don't. We're 3:15 and more. But anyway, Canadian Spider-Man. Dang it, Bob was trending a few days ago in reference to Iger's recent Disney decisions, I guess. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, wow.
That's so cool. What About Bob is another movie?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm always saying thank you for coming. It's just a habit, a nervous habit. One of the phrases like, unbelievable or stuff like that. I have certain words.
It's one of his favorite things to say. Thanks for coming.
Well, I'm glad everybody's here tonight. I cannot believe this.
I'm just
exactly
picking on you.
Disney's going to turn into Office Space where Bob Iger and Bob Chapek, they're going to pull people in the office and they're going to say, good luck with your firings. Because that's the way Disney's going. I'm not meaning to laugh at people losing their jobs. But
What Max is saying. So
please stay here. We love you here. What's that? Now look what Max. It is really kind of a horror movie because it's all of the university is completely politically correct. And the time it was made, it was fun, silly willy. Nowadays they had a crystal ball. Wow.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
And
I don't think I'll ever want to watch that movie.
Had George Clinton in the Parliament Funkadelic.
Was it good? I don't know.
No, Lisa, you would like it. Max is not steering you wrong. It is a really, really funny movie. Now, it is of its time, so the humor is a little bit shtick, to use the term. And Max knows what I mean by shtick. It's a little bit shtick, but it is very funny. It is very funny. And it is mocking what we are all going through right now, if you know what I mean.
I do. Okay.
I got 2 stars that we need to go back. Let me see something. I'm sending something, But yeah,
I mean, Max, it is the horror of the politically correct movement. So if you're looking at horror as being a tenet, a philosophy, then yes, you are absolutely correct.
So, but you know what? I will say there's 2 things that we got here that I start. One is this one here, the Comedy Love and Death, 1975, Woody Allen. Have y'all seen that?
No.
Yeah. I have.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. You got to be really into the 70s thing to appreciate it, though.
Mm-hmm.
You have to appreciate the 70s aesthetic to appreciate
Mm,
it.
okay. It'll
Oh,
probably
come-
be lost on me then, unfortunately.
Okay, we might very well be back, depending on how long you're gone. Very likely. So good to see.
Take care, Cardi.
Take care, Cardi.
Yep. So let's see. Let's see
Bye,
what
Cardi.
we're doing here. Tonight. I mean, you guys are a challenge. This is good training for me too, because so many things going and all this and things. Okay, I want to throw this down here with this one. I did not like this movie, the Clint Eastwood one. I just did not like it. I found it dry. I found it took too long. But then again, I will say this. I also was about 18, 20. I was a lot younger. I'm wondering if being older, a little bit more, a little more seasoned, if maybe I might look at it differently than I did back then.
That does happen. That does happen. Yes.
So,
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
yeah.
My
Yeah.
question is, do you guys remember a movie with Sharon Stone? It was a Western. What's the guy from Gladiator?
Russell
Russell
Crowe.
Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
I think it was his first film, Western, with Gene Hackman. There was like a duel at the end.
Sorry, that doesn't narrow it down.
Well,
I'm
wait,
gonna have
Gene,
to-
Westerns.
Gene Hackman. That almost sounds like Unforgiven.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It could be Unforgiven. It could be. But Sharon Stone, let me check. I need to check.
I'm kind of looking that up too.
chat saying The Quick and the Dead.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That was a good
one.
Western for me, which was kind of modern, I guess.
I liked it.
Did you like it or no?
No, I did like it. I did
Oh, you
like
did.
it.
Okay. I thought it was kind of cool. I don't know.
It had good pacing, it had good characters, and it had all the setups and the payoffs, which we don't get with a lot of Star Trek or a lot of science fiction. So, for me, the definition of a good film is, do you give a payoff to the setup? Because if you don't, I hate it. I hate it. Like a lot of people who are into horror, they love Jacob's Ladder. I despise that movie almost as much as The Village.
Oh man, that's close. Wow, that says something.
Did you read the book,
Yeah.
The Village, before you saw the movie?
There's a
No.
book.
No book or anything. It was just plain, just watching the movie, and you hated it.
I went to the film with my family because they said, you like horror movies, we're going to go watch this horror movie at the theater. And I thought, this is not going to be good. I tried to get my family to not go see it with me, and we saw the movie, and I was grumbling for a day and a half afterwards.
And that's
Yeah,
M.
that
Night
exact same
Shyamalan.
thing happened to me at
Oh my
the
gosh.
Village. I'm not even kidding.
I
My
went.
family just-
I went by
my-
myself. I don't want to spoil it so much for Friday, but I ended up. I apologized to the family because I was like, I thought I liked the signs. I sucked into it, and I was like, then I made the mistake of Lady in the Water after that. But still, the Village has a special
that was
place.
bad.
The Village.
Lady in
Village-
the Water. That was
Listen,
horrible.
the only other movie that was worse was watching The Firm, because listen,
The Firm.
because Tom Cruise walking into the mob guy said, "Hey, Mr. Mob Guys, I'm going to rat out my boss is your law firm, but I can't talk about you because of attorney-client privilege." Yeah, he's going to end up with wooden blocks in the bottom of the river because they don't care. You're taking down their lawyer. It's like stupid. There was one movie that I hated so damn much. I ended up friggin' buying a damn book, bought a book, not just a library, bought a book and read it and loved the Grisham novel. So
I didn't
exactly.
hate that movie.
Exactly. Oh gosh, I hate. This one is, to me, The Firm was almost like The Village because it just was just. Anyway, just as one of those things.
I watched Born on the 4th of July with Cruz, right?
Oh yeah,
I did not like that one.
yeah. And by the way, Max Redstone said he liked the film, liked The Firm because Wilford Brimley is such a good villain. Yes, that's absolutely true. So
that is excellent.
Yes, exactly.
Brimley,
that would say
totally.
absolutely he made it good. I got a story to share about that, but let me bring on another special guest to the channel. We have still got 4 guests. We're at 3:30. We've been over an hour. We still haven't made the Buckies, much less our featured topic. So, what a hell of a stream when that happens. We hit 4:30, but let me bring on a very special individual. This person, talk about outspoken, speaks her mind, but we love that. But she's a dear friend of our channel. Reached out to the Mrs. and me. Never had met us in person. Been on a stream one time before, but she just so lovingly and gracious took us around through some great places up north on our trip during after the Iron Mountain Road to the Custer State Park and over to Crazy Horse Memorial. We got to eat that wonderful food with this person. Just a great blessing of a person for us to have met actually in person too. Very incredible, the one, the only, and very talented Eagle Rider. Hey, Rosetta.
Trying to pat my head just a little bit. Go for it. I mean,
there you go. Hey, well,
how you guys doing tonight?
Good. I don't know if you've met people on the panel, but we've got Hungry Boy, Lisa, and JT Kirk here.
I met Lisa and JT when I stopped by about a week ago.
Okay.
Yep. Hey there.
Yep.
Hey.
I don't know if I met him though.
Hungry Boy. Yes.
Hungry Boy.
Hello.
Okay.
The bestest ever.
Yes, he is. But listen, lemon pie, damn it. Damn it, lemon pie. It's going to be damn it, lemon pie, not Mark.
But
the story.
What are you yelling at a pie for?
Let me go with this story. I'm not yelling at him. I'm just like, it led right into my.
Who yells at pie?
Talk about the segue into what I was about to share. You're familiar with the riff tracks, right?
Yeah.
That were part of MST3K, and they, rip movies apart. Well, they did a movie.
Titanic. And Cinematic Titanic, too.
They did a movie, and I don't remember what the hell it was, but it was a scene where it had all this sugar involved. Oh, no, it was a PSA. They had a short with a PSA, and it had Wilford Brimley in it. And right off the bat, they're like, diabetes. I had, at the moment, had taken a mouthful of drink of soda, and I got people right in front of me. I got one kid on the left, one kid on the right, and I'm about to spew. Why that's funny, I don't freaking ask no. But I'm
because
about
you're psycho?
What's that?
Because you're a little bit psycho, like the rest of us?
I guess I must have been, because I nearly spit my drink on the people ahead of me. I'm like burning my lungs trying to not spit it out. I lean to my left, spit on my kid, lean to the right, trying to get over my kid to get out of there to the right, spit more soda on the other kid, stumbled to the stairs, fell at the bottom of the stairs, and just crawled out of the theater.
Look, I laugh if I witnessed that, so I mean, can't give too much crap.
I was like, my kids, when I got back later, they said the people ahead of us turned around and said, "Is he okay?" They're like, "No." It was just like, I should have laughed at it, but it was just like, oh, the way they delivered a deadpan. But anyway,
are you a difficult person to take out in public?
Yes. Yes.
That,
That's
I mean,
Mrs. Go ahead, Rosetta.
I was just saying I can attest to the difficult to take out in public, but come on.
Yeah,
that's right. You guys hung out together.
Exactly. Well, especially if I start dancing, she'll grab me and stop me from moving and stuff like that. Hey.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
With cousins, just are difficult to deal with in public. Big star.
Oh God. Well, you gonna help us, Mitch? Am I gonna have to get the? God dang it, Max Redstone.
Can I give some props to Max Redstone, because
exactly, but yeah, Canadian, yeah, he was a bad guy in this. Our grandpa was a bad guy. That's why it was so hilarious. Yeah, go ahead, Hungry. I'm sorry.
I'm just going to say that, Max Redstone and I have a mutual appreciation of Mr. Brimley because he was such a great character at John Carpenter's The Thing, Max. You know that. Back me up, Max. He was so good. It's not like us. It's dog, but it's not dog. I mean, that is one of the best moments in any science fiction horror film that was ever made. Wilford Brimley was one of the best characters in any sci-fi horror film that was ever made. And he's the gift that keeps on giving. Even when he's doing bad American commercials for oatmeal, he's the gift that keeps on giving. I love Wilford Brimley.
I know, exactly. But I think that's what made it in the film that really made it nice was, I mean, he is like America's grandpa, and then all of a sudden he's he was just it was just so out of character. It's not what you pictured. So but hey, Eagle Rider, hey, you're not late. We're squirreling all over the place. I mean, we haven't even touched anything we're going to talk about. Feel free to trash Tom Cruise if you like.
I mean, I got the comment in chat about how much he sucks. Literally, I've seen so many of the most badly rated movies of all time over the years with some stupid people who liked them. And yet I would freaking rewatch some of the most atrocious, most hated movies before I would ever fucking watch Vanilla Sky again. I would rather shoot myself in the head than listen to him whine.
Oh, gosh.
You're hilarious.
It had to be one of the most cringy, painful movies of all time. The only good thing in the entire movie was when she drove him into a wall. I mean,
well, he's big old Jack Reacher, which I never understood. The guy on the TV series made a more of a believable Jack Reacher than a little five.
I've never understood the fascination so many people have with Cruise. He's just such an arrogant, slimy sleazeball, and he's not that creative in his roles he plays.
But I think in some roles he's okay. I think in some roles he can do it okay, but I just don't see him as this big action tough guy. That's the biggest problem I've had. Like even in the Mission Impossible and the other movies.
My husband's a bigger, tougher guy than him, and probably taller too. And my husband's shorter than me.
Well, the thing about Tom Cruise is, he's 61 now. So you look at the movies he's done in the last 5 years. And the lead actress that's supposed to be the love interest, always like 21 every single time, and he's 61. So you're just sitting there. I'm sitting there doing the math stare on that, and I'm like, this doesn't work out.
You're thinking like a dad these days. Oh,
yeah.
Well, even look, the movie I'm bitching about as being one of the ones I hate the most with a passion, the point where I hate the guy who made it.
Yeah,
was one that I saw back in college.
Right.
So that's not a recent movie by any stretch.
Well, I will say Oblivion. I saw Oblivion, which was like a futuristic spacey type movie.
Oh yeah, I like that.
A lot of air quotes around that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually not bad. I think he actually fit in that role fairly decently. So I think some of the roles are not so bad. It's just when you try to make him believable as this guy that can go beat up 15 people and blow stuff. I have a little bit of. I still picture that young teenager running around in his underwear, playing air guitar, and stuff like that. That's more.
I didn't like him in that era either. I mean, there's a certain list of actors I will badmouth all day long. DiCaprio, which was mentioned in chat earlier, is another one of them.
I know.
Freaking can't stand him. The only good thing he ever did was be a whiny orphan boy, basically. And that was before he was an adult. I mean,
see, Max Redstone liked Cruising a Few Good Men with Nicholson, though.
Actually, I will retract that slightly. As much as I hate DiCaprio, they did actually do a good job with The Man in the Iron Mask.
Eagle,
yes, thing I think he did. So,
Eagle, I must ask you, what did you think? And I have no predilections here. What did you think about his performance in War of the Worlds?
Oh God! Oh God!
That was painful.
To be honest, that book and the history behind how gullible people are with it, are cringy anyways. The motive that Wells had in writing that book is cringy as hell anyways. But then the modern version of it makes all the cringe in the history of that story even worse because it was such a train wreck.
Well, I tell you what, I like the old '60s version or whatever the old one was because,
53,
but
53.
this
It was
this
53.
movie was, I mean, I was kind of like the Godzilla movies. I was cheering for the aliens over him and that kid. And then you got Mr. Sarandon in the movie that was like, oh man, all kinds of freaky. So I'm like, hey, it's
Oh
just
my God.
yeah.
You know,
but
it's
hey,
really, really bad when characters are being played in these movies that they're dealing with these sci-fis or these apocalyptic or these war and horror stories, and there's such annoying, whiny actors that you're cheering for the enemy or the bad guys to kill
Yeah.
them. That's bad. That's not
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
It can be entertaining to hate watch movies at that point and cheer for people to die.
Well,
That's the same reason you watch bad rated sci-fi movies
mhm.
because the horror movie Sci-Fi Channel plays. There's no point in watching those except for to pause them like 5,000 times and make fun of the characters or slow-mo the deaths.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Well, I will say one thing about the Meg 2 without spoiling it for Brian out there is that it was actually a movie where I did not want the main actors necessarily to have a bad ending. You know, you were actually kind of cheering for them, not necessarily the sharks and the other things. So, you know, but let's see, there was something. Yeah, Lemon Pie, 61-21. Well, damn it. Hoping the dynamic works when I'm 61. Yeah, it's all a matter of perspective when you are. So, but yeah. All right. Well, we've kicked the movies around a little bit here.
Dadman,
Yeah, yes, sir, go
if
ahead.
I could share one more story about that. So
Please,
it wasn't
go ahead.
anything as physically traumatizing as your story, but
Yes.
the wife and I, the missus, went to a horror movie Valentine's Day. I think it was 2015 or 2016. Okay. And we went to this theater. It was packed. Of course, Valentine's Day, it was going to be packed. And I am so hard trying to figure out the name of this movie, but it's escaping me. But basically, this couple moves back to their hometown, which is obviously in LA because, you know, cheaper to film there. They move into this house that's nothing but windows all around, you know, some real modernist house. And this old friend or relationship from high school for the guy comes back and says, hi, you know, I really want to be friends. He's real creepy. He shows up at, you know, random times. So you're like, you know, I don't like this dude. In my house is all windows. Like, you're already like, this is a bad recipe. So there's a scene in the movie where the wife is taking a shower. And of course, the shower's, you know, all glass on all three sides. And it's all steaming up. Okay. And the camera's moving real slow, closer and closer. So everybody knows, right? Like in the whole theater, you know, she's going to hear something and try to clear the steam, the condensation off the glass, and she's going to see this creepy guy, okay? Like, it's no secret that this is going to happen. You can see it a mile away, okay? Mm-hmm. When it actually happened, I was the only one in the theater that jumped out of my seat and screamed as loud as I could.
Oh, gosh.
The jump scare got me. It got no one else in the theater. I mean, I had complete strangers just laughing at me.
So you looked like a pussy.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, people were turning around and laughing at me because, I mean, it was so dang obvious. Everybody could see it. People are sitting there eating popcorn.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah.
You know, I'm just, my wife just looks at me, then like looking at the floor, like so embarrassed. Like,
Oh, no.
who the hell am I married to?
Well, I tell you what, that was not a bad time. I mean, Lisa gives you a hug. Oh man,
Yeah.
That was a rough moment for you.
Yeah, it really was.
Well, I tell you, sometimes those jump scares can get you. I kind of mentioned it earlier. It's a trailer for The Nun 2. I jumped and kind of shouted tonight, and it was just a trailer, so. It you know, when it's done right, it can have that effect on you. But
there was a Nun 1.
Yeah, there's The Nun. Yeah, and now it's The Nun 2.
Nun 1.
Oh and you guys mentioned Meg 1, Meg.
Yes.
2. Never
Yes.
seen those either.
Yeah.
I'm missing out on so much.
So Nun 2 is just Nun 1-1.
It looks like she comes back. The nun is back later. I don't know.
Anyway,
It's like I don't
No
get
none
it.
for me. That's for
No,
sure.
I don't blame you. You might like Meg. The Meg is a kind of cool if you can believe that you can build something at depths that submarines can't.
Is
Not,
that about a shark?
yeah.
So-
Yes.
Yeah, I
Pre-
will never
pre-
see that.
Prehistoric.
Since
Go
we
ahead.
touched that topic, I just wanted to find out which for each of you guys, which ones would you would consider the worst movies you've ever seen?
Pretty much everything I
my.
don't see is the worst.
What?
So there's a
What
lot.
it's
Battlefield
either
Earth is one
Battlefield
Travolta's-
Earth or
yeah.
Last Jedi. It's
Really, that you could say that's the absolute worst ever. The Last
the
Jedi.
Last Jedi. I would probably say yeah.
Well, yeah, within that series, but I don't think historically it's the worst ever.
Well,
Did you
next.
ever see that one? What's that crap with?
Yeah, I've
love-
seen that one.
Absolutely.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben
Oh,
Affleck.
Gigli. You're talking
I
about
never
Gigli or-
seen
yeah.
it, but supposedly like that's the worst movie
I have,
ever.
and I would still watch that over Vanilla Sky.
I've never
Oh,
seen
both
that either.
Yeah, they both suck. Also, fucking Run Lola Run. It's gotta be one of the dumbest import movies ever made. I'm sorry. It's just like
Why? Because they're
it's
so smart.
it's like you're doing like a 2-minute clip version of her running across town and then failing, and it's like quick action replay like Groundhog's Day, and she keeps getting herself and her father killed over and over.
Oh, geez.
I like Groundhog Day.
Oh,
That was
yes.
a good movie.
I like-
Groundhog's Day took its time, put comedy in, it had intellectual. This was just like they were like trying to make a hyper fast sci-fi version of it that didn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Max loves Rundle or Run. So Max
Well,
also
it's okay.
says Showgirls.
Everyone's
Next,
allowed to
I
have
watched
some bad
Showgirls.
taste.
I didn't
Everyone's
like
allowed to have
Showgirls.
some bad taste. That's
Exactly.
okay.
All opinions are welcome. We all have fun. But yeah, Showgirls is one that I never watched, but I've heard how
I've
bad
watched
it is.
Showgirls, and I thought that was actually not that bad of a movie if you could stand seeing all those boobs in your face every 2 seconds.
Well, you know
That
about
sounds
that.
rough.
Please, I'm used
Would
to
you-
seeing boobs in my face.
That
would
sounds
Would you
right.
Well,
like
I
another
might-
Dadman story then after you're finished?
Wait, what? I got confused because Eagle Rider was grabbing herself. I just,
Oh, what? Go ahead. Go ahead and finish, Lisa. I was going to say, would you like another Dadman story in a moment?
I like Showgirls, but the athletic ability that it takes to become a great dancer. So that's
Mhm.
why I was drawn to it. And the story was pretty good about like how rough it is, trying to make it in show business. And I felt it was authentic, really.
Yeah.
That
Well,
it was
let
a
me
good
do-
movie, but all the boobs I could have done without.
Oh,
Well,
come
let
on.
me
I
do
draw
this.
pinups. I'm
Let-
used to boobs. I
Well,
mean,
let me do this real
Well-
quick because Lisa, thank you for another segue. But I'm
What
going
did
to
I
say,
do now? Boobs?
yeah, you set me up for something good. You're a great guest setting the host up.
boobs are
Brian-
awesome.
Brian said the Meg is awesome. That they love it. And Max Redstone, Star Trek 6. I loved Star Trek 6, especially like the scene where they wail on the bird of prey. So I just didn't know that was the dude from Dragnet, the Klingon. So
Actually, I will agree with Max about the characters not being well defined and creative in Showgirls. I will also
Okay.
agree with Canadian Spider-Man. Run Lola Run sucks, and he only liked it because he thought she was hot.
yeah, okay.
So
Well, hey-
I'll give him credit on one and mock him on the other.
Well, Matt, hey, Spider-Man, that's kind of why I'm not monetized yet. I could get there soon with all your good help, but hey,
Hey, that's
I like
not to
keeping it
monetize
fun.
you. I have done that plenty on monetized streams. I'm just saying.
Damn it. We were going to talk about 70s breakfast cereal tonight.
I know we got hijacked by the chat though, Hungry. I love it, but it's
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I want to know what Eagle and Lisa thinks about the Fifth Element.
okay. Let's hold up for that. Lisa and Eagle,
Mm-hmm.
y'all hold the questions right there. The boob story. We were
Wait, what?
newlyweds. We talked about like the boob story, like all the reference. Like I said, Lisa's segue into the story set me up really good. We shared it a while back. The missus had mentioned it, and she does it better than I do. But we were flying to Vegas. We were newlyweds. We were my family, and we try to keep our distance from them as much as we could during that trip. But we were on the flight. She sat next to a lady that worked at one of the hotels, and then at the end the lady said, "Hey, well, have it, because we're staying at the hotels, and like here's my card, get a free ticket to whatever." Well, the options were like magic show or the normal Las Vegas reviews, right, where they show the tops and stuff. Well, Mrs. picked one of those shows, and of course it being Vegas, it's always hot. Even though it was inside the AC, it was still hot in that place. And we got there, and I'm one that gets really comfortable when I get warm, and then it's like we're sitting there watching it. Then all the ladies come out, it starts, and I go to sleep. I fall asleep. Then the first ones with boobs come out, and I wake up. They go off stage. I go back to sleep. They come back out. I wake back up. They go off. I go back to sleep. My wife said I was like an alarm clock. When the boobs came out, I woke up. It was an alarm.
Your radar was just working properly.
I call it boobdar. Boobdar.
Yeah.
My husband's the same way. I can be in the other end of the house and looking for something. I go, "Where's that shirt?" And he'll come fly it over to see me changing before I can even start to. I whispered into my hand. I can be screaming to get his attention when I need help with something, and he's tone deaf. But if I mutter something about boobs on the other end of the house, he comes running.
Well, what's funny is my wife also says kind of the same thing. It's like, why can I not pay attention or listen to something else? But when I get distracted on things. All right. We got The Fifth Element. Hungry asked the question, what did y'all think? Lisa.
Who do you want to rant first?
Let's go ahead. Lisa, what do you think about The Fifth Element? Because I tell you what, I love The Fifth Element. It's a movie that grew on me. So, Lisa, what do you think?
I have to agree with you, and I really don't want to.
Ah, man. Okay. Well, that's okay. That's
No, I
cool.
really like the movie a lot. I don't know. It was futuristic, and Mila Jovovich. Did I say that right?
I think it's close enough for us.
Jovovich.
We're south of the Mason-Dixon line out here, so whatever, it's close enough.
Amazing to be able to wear duct tape or whatever the hell that was throughout the whole movie. Fascinating. A great storyline. I like the stones and having to put them puzzle pieces in order to stop the meteor from coming in. I mean,
but when
it's
she
just
had to
so-
blow on that one, Lisa, it was kind of a whole move.
Oh, okay, so allow me to be
With
the
the
dissenting
wind.
voice a little bit here. It's not that
Okay.
the futurism and the special effects weren't good. That was. But the story was very jumpy and disjointed and hard to just stay in tune with because it bounced so much. And the out of tune opera made me want to rip my ears off. I can't forgive that. I can't forgive that. No, it's off tune. And I am so sensitive to sounds that trigger my migraines. I can't forgive that.
Oh,
To us,
Period.
lower life beings, it was fine.
yeah. Well, but see, I can understand if you have sensory issues, I can understand how certain things can also affect how you receive or deal with the movie. Yeah, like I said, it's one that grew on me over time.
It also
Because-
it just jumps too much in the story for somebody with attention issues. That made it even worse. It really played on my attention issues.
And I can see that, but like I said, it's one that grew over me. And I tell you why it grew on me was where it was good. I really liked it, like Ruby Rod. That's a badass.
What's the character's name with the
but I would really
radio?
like to ask Lisa.
Ruby Rod. Ruby Rod.
I thought that was the best part of the whole film.
I agree with you. I love that. I loved that character, and I loved Chris Tucker with that. So
Damn it.
but hey, Max says I love The Fifth Element. Luke Besson is director. Sometimes it gets a bit weird. It was a bit weird.
The weird I can handle. It's just it didn't flow. I am really hyper picky on a lot of stuff. So if I sound like I just hate everything, it's not really. I just.
So what's your
Either
favorite movie of all time?
Okay, favorite of all time is not going to be easy, but if you want to get into the stuff that I like the most, it goes all over the place. But
well, if you had to pick, or maybe one or two, what?
I had to try to pick one, and it was really hard.
Well,
But
if I
I did
actually
one
have to
anyway.
pick one thing, it wouldn't actually be the one that I necessarily watched the most for intense story or stuff. It would be the one that ties the most to my relationship with my husband,
Okay, which
would be Princess Bride.
What about
Princess
Gary
Bride.
Oldman in Fifth Element, though. I thought
And the
he really
Gary
brought
Oldman-
something to the film.
Yeah, Gary Oldman did. He made a really, really good bad
Gary
guy
Oldman
with
was
that.
fantastic.
Yes.
I mean,
He's fantastic in everything, but Yeah.
Exactly. Now, Eagle Rider's talking about Princess Bride. That's a movie I just watched in the last couple of months because everybody gave me hell for not watching it.
I haven't watched
Okay.
it either.
Okay, wait. There's several things to this that have to note why this movie has to be special, even though there's a lot of ones that I'm really close to over my life.
Yeah.
The gash in my lip actually came from me and my sister trying to recreate the cliff scene with tentacles when I was little. It actually had a tentpole go through the lip, cut a hole out, and chip the teeth behind it when I was 6.
Man,
So
ow.
that. And I still skipped studying sword fighting because I fell in love with it with that movie. So there's that part, first of all. The night that me and my husband went on our first date, we went out, ate Chinese, came back, and watched Spaceballs and Princess Bride.
Wow, that's an interesting combination of movies. That's cool, though.
And the love ballad from Princess Bride was actually our wedding song. So we rewatch it together every anniversary.
Oh,
I need to watch that movie.
So
yeah.
it's not necessarily, I would say, the best movie, but it's the one that has the most heart to me for my personal reasons. That said, if you want to go for movies, I think have some of the most creative design and they're more fun and kitschy and each, I would actually go more for Arsenic and Old Lace.
That's another good movie.
Yes.
I've seen that. I could talk more about that than all these other ones.
What year is that? An old movie, black
Black
and
and
white?
That was
white.
in the 40s.
Okay.
That was Cary
Okay,
Grant.
okay. Here's
Heck yeah.
here's the thing. Here, okay. Y'all can feel free to gang up on me. I don't care because of Mrs. She has class. She likes black and white. She likes to read the fine print and all that stuff. I'm not a black and white guy. I like color movies.
I'm
Like
not
Hungry,
either.
but like
Arsenic
Hungry
and Old
as,
Lace is an exception.
but
I'm not either.
But I'm like a SpongeBob and I want my color and stuff like that. So it's like, but yeah, it does. But like Lemon Pie said, watched it for the first time a year ago, and I will say I liked the movie. It was nice. I could see why people liked it. I don't quite get what it's become to a lot of people, but I can get it, and I respect it. And it
I
was
don't
definitely a
get
solid
some
movie.
people's obsessions with it. For me, it is what started. I didn't get to see a lot of stuff as a kid. We didn't have money or resources. We didn't have TV and stuff at the house and stuff. We were broke ass, growing up third world shit down near the res. So
Yeah,
we didn't have that stuff. So the fact that I got to see this at all was something special to me, and I fell in love with sword fighting because of it.
I
And
don't think that
that's
word
what-
means what you think it means. I know. I didn't realize that was. I didn't realize it was Mandy Patinkin either. It's like, oh, that's interesting. So,
That's why that was important to me.
So
is I
sword
think
fighting, did you like Star Wars?
the originals? Yes, when they tried to do the newest series and they decided to put the freaking energy blade on the hilt, I couldn't stop laughing hysterically as
Yeah.
a sword fighter because I've been studying sword fighting and fencing my whole life. So seeing that literally, because I gave them a chance because I wanted to be fair and equal and this and okay, the movie's not
Yeah.
great, but not too bad. And then he pulled that out, and I started laughing so hard I fell out of my seat.
oh, that's funny. Well, let me hit a few things real quick. But back to the Fifth Element. Okay, I read that one already, but hey, but auto wash, yeah, that scene with that and all the auto wash, that's hilarious. JT Kirk, you hit it right. I think this is one of the reasons why I like this movie and finally started watching it because
That's
it
true.
repeated itself so many times. I
Yeah.
watched about one scene here, one scene there, and then finally I put it all together and it was good.
That
And
is
even
why
right
I
now,
don't like it.
if you still have cable right now, you could
Yeah.
probably go through the the guide and be like, oh, the Fifth Element's on.
Well, that's what for me.
Like, I'm not
sometimes-
even joking. It
Well, see-
plays nonstop.
I thought it was so stupid, but then I kept watching the scenes I liked, and then I started inching more and more through it. But yeah, it just rote memorization. Folston Paradise. Oh, and then here Cornelius.
But I could see where it's annoying for a
Yeah.
lemon pie because
Yeah,
that
but hey,
Ruby Red, whatever the person was,
yeah,
wasn't
Ruby
allowed in the
Ride. Ruby
Yeah.
Ride. Yeah. Canadian
But
Buddy
fun.
Kevin and I bought a tourist pass that you got in express lines for most of the sites in Paris in 2002. Went everywhere showing the passes saying multi-pass. Yeah,
Where's Hungry Boy?
Okay.
he had to drop. He had to disconnect. He'll be back. So,
He was having issues. He was resetting. I saw the
Yeah.
comment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. Oh, good night, Max Redstone. Thank you for coming and hanging out.
Oh, so that's
So
what
like
that
that.
stuff is for there.
Take care, Max
Okay.
Redstone.
Good to see you. Thank you for dropping in.
Mm-hmm. Take care, Ed. So I have kind of a reputation. Everybody says, "Oh, you hate everything." It's not that, but I'm very picky, and most of the things that become popular don't connect with me for some reason or another.
Mhm.
Even the ones that are kind of beloved classic and cult classics to a lot of our
Yeah.
community, I don't like. So I get
Yes.
picked on a lot that, oh, you hate everything. It's like, well, no, I'm just eclectic.
Well, if you
and
pick
picky.
one of Princess Bride, I think you're welcomed in the club. I think a lot of people like
Yeah.
Princess Bride, and I've
But I
never
also
seen
hate
it.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, JT,
You
have
hate Harry Potter? What's wrong with you?
Annoying as hell, too simplified, and honestly, I can't
It's
find
a
myself to like the
kids
characters.
movie.
Yeah,
It's a
and
kids
I watch kids movies with my nieces and nephews and all of them all the time, and they
Yeah.
don't annoy me like he does.
Yeah.
God,
Sometimes
Harry
it could be
Potter is
the-
I
Go
would
ahead.
have to say Harry Potter is probably one of the better series.
Could it be the actor? Maybe. Sometimes I think
I don't like the books either.
You don't like the books
Oh, I
either.
love
I
the
gave
book.
I gave it a chance. I don't like, even for kids, I don't like the oversimplified writing style that a lot of people use. I'm not a fan of modern writing style. I like the classic literature styles. I like more of the anywhere from Old English to Victorian.
Nobody
to
understands
traditional
Shakespeare.
Southern.
So you want Shakespeare to write all this
No,
Harry Potter
no,
crap?
no
way.
no.
I'm not reading
That's
that
not
junk.
what I said. You listen.
You
I'll
went
listen to you.
classical.
Yes, I
How
said anywhere
classical do you
from.
want? That
Did you
I'm
close
too
it? Can I
stupid
finish?
to read
Can I
that.
finish the sentence? Can I finish
Yeah,
the sentence?
But
let's
I'm
go.
too stupid.
Can I
can't read
finish the
that.
sentence? Can I finish the
Let's
sentence
go.
here?
You're
It's
too
good.
smart for me.
Can you
It's
please let me
okay.
finish the sentence?
Go
Because I
ahead,
wasn't
go ahead,
ending
yeah.
it there. I was actually
Yeah.
defining eras. Anything
You're
from
smart.
that
I'm
that goes
dumb.
through to early Southern, that
Mhm.
goes through to even, I would say, a lot of the early sci-fi writing from early 1900s through about the 70s. I like the modern writing styles do not flow the same.
Well,
Mm.
you're smart. I can't handle that.
I get lost when writing's too complicated, but
And I'm
I
going to
get
agree
it.
with Canadian Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That I don't
Yeah.
like the simplified, but Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings, classic Hobbit, even if you want kids' books that the story flows better, Lewis was
Well-
great at that. Stuff
well,
like that.
I will tell you one of the things in Hungry Boy, if we can ever get to the 70s cartoons, we can talk about a little bit, is that the writing back then was a lot better, a lot more sophisticated. I think not SpongeBob and I've not seen the Harry Potter writing, so I can't speak to that honestly.
I make jokes about that guy.
But-
Just don't think that I'm making fun of you when I refer to SpongeBobians.
Oh, I know, I love it. But hey, I really want to cause chaos now. Die Hard. I do have a soft spot for Bruce Willis too. Die Hard is the greatest Christmas
Yeah, me too.
movie ever.
It
Christmas
is,
movie or
yeah.
not? Go ahead, JT. Christmas
Oh,
movie or not, JT?
it's definitely a Christmas movie. I mean, short of doing a movie about actual Christmas, this is the best Christmas movie that's ever been made. I
And
mean,
it's
not
authentic.
even the Grinch. The Grinch can't steal Christmas mantle away from this one.
Ah,
I
No.
assume most major cities in America have what's going on in Die Hard in there.
ah,
And the
Yeah.
funny thing is, now that movie is so old, you look at the pew pew that they have in that movie, and you're like, wow, those are some really old things
Yeah.
that they're using. But you're like, I remember when that movie was new. But no, I love that movie. They filmed it with a lot of seriously dangerous stunts. Bruce
Yeah.
Willis saying he basically went deaf a couple times and he almost died, and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But it brings the Christmas cheer every year.
There you go.
If I stop watching that other Christmas movie with Ralphie in it,
Oh, I
It
thought you
just
were going to say It's a
loops.
Wonderful Life.
no.
Definitely.
I watched the one where the kid shoots his eye out.
Oh
Uh,
gosh.
I mean, if I
it's on
have to watch
TV
one of
over
those,
and
I'd rather
over.
watch the eye shot out. I'm sorry.
What's the name of that again?
Christmas,
Christmas
story.
story.
A Christmas
Oh, my
story.
God.
Is it TBS or TNT that play it
24
like
Both.
hours?
Yeah.
Oh
Both.
my God,
Yeah.
damn man, I can't take it.
I was
know,
going to say, if
You
you
know-
want to watch something that's better in that series, you watch the summer story where they actually dealt with
But-
the kids actually doing crazy stunts and competing with their tops and stuff. That's actually more entertaining, honestly, than the Christmas one.
I was
Deadman-
just pointing. Yes, sir. Yes,
you
JT.
you have to get the Blu-ray of A
Yeah.
Christmas Story because TNT and TBS filter out so much.
Oh, they do.
And they speed things up. There's a lot of lines that they deemed unsuitable for television.
Wow. Okay.
In that movie, that you're like, oh, where the heck did that come from? Well, I can see why they didn't put that on TV. Kind of stuff.
Oh, the Red Ryder BB gun. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. So Hungry, do you think Die Hard's a Christmas movie?
I'm going to get in trouble here, but I think Die Hard is a movie unto itself. I don't think that any season applies to it. I think it could apply to any week and any day and any year, and it would still be as fantastic as it was. And I'm not going to say, I'm not going to talk about the other Die Hard movies in the franchise, but the first one, I would classify like Bride of Frankenstein in a different genre. I would classify it as a perfect movie. It hit every beat. It provided every payoff for every setup, and the editing, and this is most important for anything that has comedy and action. The editing was sublime and perfect. The editing was perfect. And so, you know, Die Hard is one of my all-time favorite movies. Even though I'm a sci-fi horror fantasy guy, I can like other things that are just superlative in regards to what they set out to do and what they achieve. And Die Hard did that. I mean, I was introduced to Die Hard by my family, and I didn't want to watch it. I didn't like the trailer. I didn't like the trailer at all. And I was gripped within the first 10 minutes of the movie. And Hans Gruber is one of the best villains we've ever had. Best villain.
Alan Rickman.
I love Alan Rickman.
I love Alan Rickman too. Oh
I did
my God.
not realize until a few years ago he was as popular of an actor as he was. I just thought he was somebody nobody knew that happened to play that one role. Then I know he was in Galaxy Quest. I mean, he seemed like a character actor. Then he appeared in the Harry Potter movies.
Cancer.
Yes, I know. It's
Very
really
sad.
very talented. Very talented.
Super talented.
He also could play very, very sweet romantic roles. He was in Truly, Madly, Deeply, where he plays a ghost of a woman who can't give up the fact that she lost him as the love of her life, and he plays it wonderfully. He's got range. He's like Boris Karloff. He's like Christopher Lee. He's got everything, and I love seeing everything he's in.
Have you seen him in Sense and Sensibility? I think that's the movie.
Yes, Lisa.
Oh my God, that voice.
You know, I'm gonna have to end up starting to watch real adult movies thanks to you guys with all these things here. Not that adult, but like not SpongeBob animated movies because all you guys.
You're never gonna let me go on the SpongeBob thing, dude.
Well, no. I mean, in general, and I'm kind of serious with that because
Hitchcock. We need to watch Hitchcock.
See, Lisa's talking.
Well,
Hitchcock,
Brian has a point.
Eagle Rider talked about Arsenic and Old Lace. I mean, that's stuff my wife likes watching, but I'm like, if Die Hard counts, and I'm going with Gremlins. That's too funny.
I have this thing where I don't consider because I look at genres the way they were originally defined, which is in order to classify as a specific genre, the bulk of the story has to be about that thing.
Yeah.
So I don't define it that way, but I don't look down on it because I don't define it that way either. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I tell you, you guys are taking this really, really good, and y'all are really, really serious with the topic. I have to time I have that thing is I'm being smart ass and smart alecky. I never realized it was a debate being a Christmas movie until like just recently or the last couple of years. And I was like, I was like, it's a great movie and just happened to be Christmas, but I like to keep the debate going, stirring, see what people, because this is a very serious debate with a lot of people. I mean, people get passionate about it. It's go ahead.
I don't get why people get so obsessive on everything.
Why do they get obsessed about anything? They get obsessed about.
If some people don't think it is, some people do think it is. What does it matter?
Yeah.
To those who think it is, watch it at Christmas. To those who don't think it is, watch it whenever. If you like it, watch it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. I mean, I never get why everyone wants everyone to agree on everything.
Yeah, Lisa, what did you have to say?
Well, a lot of channels whip out these lists of movies that are considered Christmas. So those channels want to be able to have it on their list. So that's why they do it. But
Well, folks, guess what? We have been going just short of 2 hours, and we still have not even made it to Bucky's yet.
oh hell no.
We haven't even much as our 70s shows. Hey, listen, folks, thank you for being here. And guess what? I left the football banner up, logo guy up in the top right for you guys. So y'all are part of a football stream.
All right, we can talk about Oregon and Washington going to the Big Ten.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Okay, my wife can check out.
All right. Well, I mean, if you hungry, y'all bear with me about just 3 minutes with that because we can make it quick. Because I do want to show the Bucky's pictures for you guys here. So,
What are we talking football for real?
yeah, we're talking. Yeah, JT.
I'll be right back.
Okay, go get some tea. It's okay. She did not disconnect. She just muted.
Oh my god!
Look, I mean,
I love you, Dad, man.
I know
So
you do.
I just can't. I don't get watching sports. To me, if I'm not playing them, what's the point? If I'm
Look at
playing
your
them, I
body.
want to kick people's asses. If I'm
You
not
go,
playing them,
Ryder?
then
yeah,
whatever, you know.
just
Yeah.
look at their butts and be happy.
Well, there's another Mrs.
No.
Dadman story. I wish she was here for that one because before we married, she went with two couples to a Tampa Bay Miami Dolphin football game, and she just kept taking her binoculars to look at the butts in the huddle. So
There you go.
she wasn't interested
Gotta
in the
do
game.
something to
so-
stay awake.
Exactly. So, but real quick to JT's point with this, really, because JT's up in Big Ten land. Good for the Big Ten, but again, like Whoop and I were talking the other night, I'm concerned as a football fan that these leagues are so big now that now with only a limited number of teams in the playoffs, how does anybody have a chance to really win a national title? You get 20 teams in a conference. It's destroying natural rivalries between schools geographically. What you got now, like Oregon State could be no more. Washington State could be no more because if Washington State and Oregon State have to go to the Mountain West, why would a Big Ten team want to play them? These schools left behind, Stanford and Cal, I think, are also there. And now the talk is about FSU seriously in the ACC. So you could see something of the death of the Pac-12 also triggering something in the ACC because of schools like FSU or Clemson. Hey, we better get either Big Ten or the SEC before we get locked out, And that's kind of where I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the future of college football and competitiveness.
And it's also a big change of the culture of the sport because the Big Ten, before they brought in Maryland and Rutgers, was a Midwest conference.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. And then you have the SEC, which is the Southeastern Conference, obviously. But you have regional cultures and regional traditions and those local rivalries. But now the Big Ten is the first conference I would consider out of the Power Five that is a truly national conference where you have West Coast and East Coast teams and the Midwest teams. And then, you have Nebraska hanging out there too. What regional traditions do you still maintain on that? Not many. What's your glue?
Unless you bring in, like the Big Ten would bring in Washington State, Oregon State, but then again, how many teams do you want in there? And it's it's the question of it. And would Texas and A&M stop when A&M left to go to the SEC? That was a huge, long-standing rivalry, and now that can be brought back, but still, you're fortunate with this. But you look at some of the schools that can't get to the larger conference, so there could be a lot of and that's what I'm going to miss, JT. One of the problems why I don't get back into Major League Baseball is they've ruined the tradition, which is basically there's no inbreeding play, which is National League and American League stayed separate till the World Series.
Right.
You go look at a Major League Baseball stadium, it looks like minor league baseball parks used to be with all the advertisements everywhere. To me, and now runners starting on second and extra innings, it's lost all the tradition, and that's what made a lot of sporting to me. Because y'all ask, well, sports is not. To me, as growing up, it's a lot of this have been set in traditions, annual events, and things. That is why I am so passionate with college sports specifically. There's memories that have been built up. Now it's changing. And even if you don't like sports, really from an issue, what I'm trying to talk and discuss about is the landscape is changing. The face of college and pro sports are changing from what they've been. And if you like sports, it's a huge impact and can affect whether you want to watch a game. Like I said, I don't watch Major League Baseball anymore because of it.
Well, yeah, and the NFL has a much less patina of tradition on it. College football is all about that. I mean, you have schools like Michigan that talk about we're the winningest program in history, but half their wins are from leather helmets with no face masks and all this and that from the 1800s. So they're rooted in history, and when you tear all that up, it kind of guts something that you love.
Exactly.
It to me, it almost seems like the last Jedi of college sports. When you start doing all
it does, and like Brian says, the practical thing about pro travel, 3-hour time difference, 5-hour trips on commercial flights. What about academics? What about schooling? Stuff like that. How do you keep up with the academics with the extended travel time? I mean, not having played college sports or anything, I don't know how you do the academics on top of your playing days. I mean, it's got to be hard to balance the two.
They get tutors and things like that to help them out. I mean, I used to live in the football dorm when I was in college, but you even just look at NFL teams. Like if the Lions go play a West Coast team, they almost always lose.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Any
Jaguars, they talked about them playing the Raiders. Anytime they went to the West Coast, it just
there used to be a requirement when I went to school that you had to maintain a C average or you were ineligible to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they keep a lot of this, but I mean, I'm thinking, how do you study when you're having to practice crack of dawn or whatever? When you have to between practice, doing your homework and everything else,
a whole week of school because of traveling and playing. Yeah,
exactly. How do you not
doing
fall
sports
behind?
in college is really difficult. It just is. I've been there, done that.
You have? In what sport? You played college sports?
Just for small colleges, but it was in volleyball, wrestling stuff for local areas. But it still is. It's always busy, and volleyball is a good way to shatter your nose. I learned. I mean,
yes. I remember you tweeted about that the other day, didn't you? Oh man, yes, yep. Oh man,
how tall are you?
about 5'8".
Wow.
Wow.
Or stand now where, because of being trampled, I stand at about 5'6" to 7". I have to be up against it to straighten my back correctly.
Yeah.
But
and that is always one of the dark areas of all the sports, is when the crowd gets crazy and stuff like that. And it's it's never a good thing when that happens. It's, it is. But hey, listen, thank you for letting me talk about that a little bit. Lisa, thank you, and Eagle Ride, thank you for sharing about your sports experiences.
I didn't share anything about.
Well, I thought you did.
Experience.
I thought you said something, but anyway,
she just asked me a couple things.
Oh, she just asked. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm actually the one that probably knows more about playing college sports than anybody in this panel.
Well, I know. Well, thank you. I love people with knowledge, because I'm just a ham and egger just making stuff up, and I didn't experience, because you guys, if you've done it, it's interesting to hear the stories. And hear how it really, really was, because a lot of us.
When it comes to the school, you just do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You have to maintain the C average. When I don't know if they have that nowadays because everything's so different.
Most places I know still do. I don't know. I can't say all, but as far as I know, I've seen they still do. The grades were never my issue. It was my medical flaring up at weird times that was the issue. So.
Yeah, I tried out for the baseball team once, and of course didn't have the arm and all that stuff. But I mean, the baseball players were the ones I was kind of amazed. If they practice in the fall, they play and practice in the spring, and then it's all the travel and all that stuff, and all. So many of them missing school a lot. So, yeah, in basketball, high school, hard to keep up with grades. Exactly, but I think, like you said, Lisa, you just do it. All right.
Canadian Spider-Man says volleyball could use more tackling.
Oh.
I kind of agree.
That's just because you guys want to watch the girls wrestling in those little outfits.
Yeah. Well, I will say on a serious note, one of the best sports I like to watch is, and I will watch it. I will watch women's fast pitch softball before men's college baseball. It moves faster. It's a faster game. They go out there and they hit the ball and they play hard. So
There are
All right.
some sports that women are more either artistic at or better at. Overall, women are better at volleyball than men are. They just generally are.
No,
It's like, no, actually, statistically,
actually, no.
all right. Well,
I'll disagree with you on that. And that's just somebody.
Men are way
It-
better. They'll smack that ball in your face and kill you.
Oh, good. Girls will do that too. Girls
Yeah,
will
they-
so do that too.
Yeah.
The men
Well, I'll tell
are
you
way
what.
better.
I will tell
Tom
you though.
Cruise
What?
will come right up on you,
Yeah.
and volleyball,
There you
no
go.
shirt on.
Hey,
and
I tell you
just-
what.
Men are better at every sport.
Oh,
Every sport.
Watch
No.
those high school. Well, I tell you, I like watching the ladies
Yes.
play against each other because of competitive balance and stuff. Watching those women's, the high school girls football powder puff games are crazy. So, and I like Canadian Spider-Man talked about when he played defense in hockey. It's still cold enough for the outside rink. Don't use pads, but still hit each other. The boards are perfect width to set your beer on. There you go. Got to have that beer holder.
The only sport that women are better at would be the uneven bars in gymnastics, the beam,
Oh yeah.
and that is it.
Oh yeah.
I'm
But
not going to
hey.
agree with you, but hey,
No.
that's
What
fine.
sport?
It's
What
all
sport
good.
do you think that
Yeah.
men are better at? Or
Most
women are
of them,
better at?
honestly, men are better at. But
Yeah.
again, volleyball statistically, the women have a better rating for it. They just do. And there are some sports where women have a better appeal to it as well. Now,
Well, no,
again,
we're not
most
talking about
sports,
skill. We're talking about
no,
skill.
I wasn't either. I said that as a general. But again, as I said, most sports, yes, men are better at because men have specific features.
Well, hey,
But yes,
listen, guess what happened tonight, Hungry Boy?
Ah,
We still haven't hit the topics all over 2 hours. How about that?
Oh.
Talk about a detour.
let's go. We'll get further than that. Come on.
Well, we're going to get into the Buc-ee's now for a little bit. We're going to have some fun and food.
There we
How about
go.
that? Yeah, we'll
Thank
do this.
God.
Food
But listen,
stream.
Lisa and Eagle Rider, guess what? And Hungry Boy, you've just appeared on your first stream involving sports ball.
yeah.
No, it's unfortunately not the first stream I've dealt with
Well,
people on these sports.
It's all cool. I love having you guys here at 4:20 in the morning on the East Coast. It's wonderful having you guys here. So let's move into something really, really cool.
Hmm.
The thing that is called Buc-ee's. I don't know how many of y'all have ever been to Buc-ee's before, but it's like a 7-Eleven on steroids that some people have talked about. So it's got food is great, but it also likes to do stuff like this. You can't go there without buying souvenirs. It's a theme park too. You got all kinds of souvenirs that are here, and it's by season. See, this is a baseball one. They got July 4th, St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, 4th of July, the last one that Mrs. picked up. So it is really, really crazy. And there you go. We are right where Lemon Pie is. He knows Buc-ee's. I'm a Texan. So, but hey, this is really a cool thing to see. If you don't have one near you, definitely try it. They're more in the south, Alabama, Texas. We've got a few in Florida, so that's kind of where they originated out of Texas. So it's quite an interesting store to be at. JT, or have any of y'all been to Buc-ee's that are on the panel? No. Lisa or
I've been
JT?
in the South even once. So
Oh wow.
don't-
Okay.
I
Yeah.
am unfamiliar with the restaurant called Beaver.
Oh.
Or
It's a
nickname
mess. It's the
Beaver.
mascot. Yes. That's why I'm an Oregon State fan. They're the Beavers
Hungry, you
too.
knew what I was getting at.
I know. You're killing me, Kelly. You're killing me.
Exactly.
Oh my God. But-
Well, they got a big bronze beaver out in front of it. How about that? Okay?
Oh my God.
No.
Yes.
I think, never mind.
It's okay. Oh,
so many inappropriate jokes. So
I know. Well, wait till you see this beaver nuggets. They're milk chocolate.
Nuggets? Oh God. No.
Yes,
Is that like chesticles?
I guess. Beaver nuggets. So y'all start using, instead of chesticles, talk about beaver nuggets.
Beaver
in the next
nuggets.
chat. Yes, and they're covered with chocolate. So, hey.
Even better.
Covered with chocolate. No, God. No.
You gotta have a hey. You might as well make it go down good. But yeah,
Why
Oh.
can't we have a Buc-ee's
It's always
here?
good when things go down good. I'm sorry.
exactly. What hungry?
Why can't we have a Buc-ee's here in Australia? On that note,
Well, who knows? They might get so worldwide. But hey, actually, the Miss and I are planning another trip in October, and
oh good.
currently, currently the plan is there's one up in Tennessee that is supposed to be the largest around, and we saw a picture of it. Oh my God, these things are hard to get enough in at a busy time, but this one is looked packed beyond packed. I mean, we might have to go at 3:00 in the morning or something because it is so big, and these things are huge normally anyway. So it's it really is a cool thing to do. If you ever get a chance to go buy one, definitely stop. This is like some of the other stuff. The cookies, they have fudge. A lot of that's freshly made right there. And to see, they put these type of things. If you want healthy options, they got healthy options. You know, different yogurt, pineapple, and of course, off to the right is my favorite, the banana.
You mean the
pie
good
stuff.
one?
Yeah, the banana
right.
pudding. Yes,
Yeah,
the good one.
Yeah.
The good one, yes, the one that's really bad for you. The good one. Those are my favorites there. But I also came up with some Beaver Buddy animal cookies.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Lord,
Love the old
almighty.
time
Every
truck
beaver
on
needs a buddy.
that.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Look,
That's
I mean-
hilarious.
Look, I'm sure Beaver can sometimes be the guy's best buddy. I'm just saying.
Oh God.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
is this a gas? What is this? A gas station with
It's
a
a-
convenience store or
It-
a
it
theme
is-
park?
It is like, do you know what a 7-Eleven is?
I do.
Okay, it's like a 7-Eleven on steroids because they serve convenience type stuff, also fresh food and that type of stuff. But it's like also a Walmart thrown in it because of the shirts and all the other stuff.
Yeah, I was going to
So-
ask you,
Okay.
at what point is it a Walmart with a gas station?
I actually could say that I've seen ones. There's the ones they build in the middle of the country are the world's largest truck stops, and they are literally like a gas station attached to a mall kind of
Yes.
store where you go through and there's all kinds of little stores inside it and stuff.
Yeah, Lemon Pie's got it right. A gas station on atomic steroids. That is really what this is. You
I want
know,
to know, is their gas prices competitive?
yeah, actually, they're about like everybody else. They're actually decent
They
prices.
just have more cool stuff.
They have the cool stuff. That's what they do is they get you in with all the cool
They
stuff.
want you to spend a shit ton of money.
And it's a tourist trap, really. It really is a tourist trap, but it's
Well,
a fun
tourists
tourist
are
trap.
easy to trap. They're very gullible.
Now this,
Hurons are.
but I will say, if you like your food, it definitely is a good place to go because they will trap you. We've actually driven almost an hour to one just to have lunch before. So,
Can
and
you
here's
go
pool
back to that
floats.
last one?
The Beaver
Batman?
Buddies, yes, absolutely.
I just
Yep.
want to read an assortment of 8 fun shapes with baked
Baked.
in sprinkles.
Yes, it
for
had
your
little
beaver.
sprinkle pieces. Yeah,
I'm down.
8
I'm with
shapes of
that.
beaver buddies.
yep, exactly. There's
It
like a
still
hippo.
sounds so wrong.
It does sound a bit 50 Shades of Grey.
All right. Hey, it's all in the how you interpret it. So
Lisa, the closest one to us is Richmond, Kentucky.
I'm not going.
No.
oh man, I've been in Richmond, Kentucky. Wow, that actually had a Civil War battle there. So all right, man,
What are those?
those are pool floats. So if you want to whack your kid or whack your spouse or something with it, hey, those are pool floats.
Oh, this
They're
Notice,
those
that
things that
dad,
get-
notice the man with Dad Man as his handle just told you to whack your kid.
No, jeez.
They seem kind of big. Are they big? I don't know.
They're probably about 5 feet in length. They're
I'm sitting
pretty
here
good.
trying not to be immature, and you're asking things like, "Are they big?"
Yes.
Well, usually I'm used to the noodles,
Yeah.
pool noodles, not those things.
No, these things are sort of seem inflated in a way. So
Those things are giving me anxiety. They're so busy.
Well, how about
the
this? We'll
design.
calm, we'll
the
calm your
beaver.
anxiety with this. How about the chocolate pudding?
Yeah, you will.
Ah,
The pudding looks good.
It
Yes.
does.
Oh, yeah.
that reminds me of the old grumpy old men when the out clips and Burgess Meredith said, "Take the old log to the beaver," So it's,
Mm.
but hey, it's yeah, more of this
Okay.
great food stuff here.
I love the '90s curmudgeon movies. I love
I know
those.
they were great. Okay, this is where we get serious, folks. This is actually where they're actually making the pulled pork sandwiches here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's really really cool, really really good. So yeah, like Lemon Pie said, you get a lot of stuff: barbecue sandwiches, DVDs, hats, lots of stuff. Exactly. Wait till we keep going. Everybody, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't.
What
Here's the
heck?
brisket. I think this is the brisket
Okay.
as it's come out,
Yeah.
and that's
Mm.
there you go, and we got it right. And a lot of these times when this was a very busy time, like noon on a Saturday, and it's you could get this pretty fresh. They don't sit there long when they're very busy. They're always, all those sandwiches are rotating out, so it's really still hot and fresh. And so here we got another camera angle of it.
And
Here.
sliced too. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we got there. Look at that. Here's this. I got that day. I got turkey. I've got turkey, and it was actually good. It's like a sweet sauce, barbecue sauce here.
Did you see the machete he was cutting?
Yeah,
it
I
with?
saw that. Yes, I
Go
know
back
that.
to
Was
that.
pretty-
I want to see that
Well, I
machete.
don't know. Can we show things like that on YouTube? Hey, don't use these for violence or anything. These are just
He's
carving knives,
cutting
folks.
meat. Oh my
Exactly.
god,
Not
that's
targeted
huge.
towards children.
Yeah, it's not targeted children. It's completely on just
That's a bit oversized for that.
yeah. Well, they cut it for that for a reason, but I don't know. So they got plenty of knives around.
When you use a really large knife on a piece of meat like that, you don't have to do a lot of sawing. It's a quick pull once it's done. So
Mm.
it's assembly line, basically.
Good to know, Eagle Rider. Thanks.
And then there's another view of the turkey.
With weapons, I'm good. I mean,
There you go. And the fried chicken sandwich. So, but they also have sliced beef brisket. They have chopped
Did you
beef
eat
brisket.
that?
So
That was
no,
yours? Or
no,
that
I had
Mrs.?
the turkey. Ang had this one.
Nice.
So
Now, Hungry Boy, you're a resident Australian. Was that a knife?
oh
No,
Lord.
no, but it was a damn good sandwich. Yes.
exactly. I know you got some more things. Oh, there's another pull foot that's got a little bottom in it. It's a rapid rider tube. I think this is the one that you can pull up behind a boat. So it's got all
Oh,
kinds of stuff
yeah.
like this. So, just to show you all a little bit of what the glory, what's Bucky's. Oh shoot, here forgot dessert again. Beaver
Ooh.
tail.
Beaver tail.
That's beaver
Oh my
tail.
God.
I want
Oh
brisket.
my god. Isn't that redundant?
Well, it's what. Oh gosh, yeah.
That's a
I
pretty
was
big
thinking,
price.
isn't that
for-
what getting beaver is? Getting tail?
Yeah, I guess. Yep. I that's why I took this picture. I tried not to say anything in front of the kid, but it's like I just that's why I
a
took the
Big
picture.
tail.
Yes, it
For
is.
$3.49,
That's a
I mean that's a
two-hander.
great price on a dessert. You're probably gonna have to share.
Yeah, and a lot of these desserts though, you end up sharing. What hungry?
Size of that. Look at the size of that.
I know.
Hey, like Big Tail cannot lie. Other brothers cannot deny.
Hungry, that's at least a two-hander.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Oh, yeah.
What's the drizzle on the top?
I
Oh my
believe
God,
it's probably
it's-
sugar.
I'm sorry. I
Sugar
giggle way
drizzle.
too much at anything that sounds dirty. I'm sorry.
JT, you don't know what
Central-
that is on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
And Lemon Pie is right. They do have great sausage there also.
Oh my.
So it's not just beaver tail. It's
Ooh,
then
so
ham-
you can get a piece of tail and a big sausage too. I mean,
yes, you can on a stick.
Now, do you pick Polish or German? Which would you pick?
I don't. I think it's
Lisa,
on one
I'm
time.
both, so
I prefer the German myself.
yeah.
Okay, back to normal programming. They got other desserts here. Well, muffin. Okay, let's triple down.
Oh,
with muffin.
that's
So
not
we
going to
got
help.
Yeah.
different type
That's-
of muffins.
Muffins. We went from beaver tails to
To muffins. Hungry.
We range here, people.
All right, so hey, but hey, everybody, hit that like button if you haven't already. We still got 10 of y'all with us at 4:30 in the
And a
morning.
cookie too.
So hey, and cookies, yeah, they got cookies and
What you
brown
want, a
things
cookie or
on them.
something?
Exactly. So hit that sub button if you haven't already. We're 20 away from 450 just for the hell of it.
Now jerky.
And jerky. If you like your jerky, they're
This
famous
is so
for the jerky.
pornographic.
Yeah, I would
I
have
didn't
probably
even think
still-
that. I didn't even
As
think that.
much
Lisa, till you
as this
said that.
stuff looks good, I would have so much trouble here because you
Yep.
can tell most of this stuff does not have ingredients listed anywhere.
No.
So for anybody who's got issues, I'd be nagging them to pull up the ingredients from the books
Exactly.
in the back. So I'd be
Yeah.
like, I'd be that customer they'd hate.
And the
Yeah.
upper right, is that sausage?
That's
Or
a
just
sausage.
the upper is the sausage, right?
I think the
They look like sausage.
there's turkey tenders, there's pork tenderloin, and to the right, I think it's the sausage. So
I'm getting
Yeah, it looks
so
like a sausage or a salami, some kind of
yeah.
meat.
What's
like
up,
that.
Hut?
hungry.
I'm getting horny.
I'm good with
I'm
that. If we can try that
Hungry's
for the
getting
night.
hungry.
Oh gosh.
Lemon Pie is asking you which Bucky's location this is, Dadman.
This was one in St.
Hungry.
Augustine, Florida. So,
All right.
but we've been to
all
Daytona
of
Beach.
this.
We've been to the one in Alabama. So we've been to a lot of Bucky's already. So,
Hungry, are you okay?
oh,
I
the
need
Croc
to eat
store.
All
So,
of this. All of it. I need to eat all of it.
well, Hungry, if you come to the country, we'll make sure you get there. How about that?
Thank you.
All right, so let's get back to subnormalcy. We finally, after 2 hours, got to at least Bucky's, which was a topic. So, oh gosh, let's try in whatever remaining time we have, since we still have 11 people here. I'll say it again: smash that like button, hit subscribe. Let's get 20 more by the 2 weeks from now, and have a big party on the 15th for the 1 year anniversary from the first stream. And folks, I tell you what, so many new names here. Thank y'all for jumping along on the party along the way, and I've seen a lot of y'all in chats and stuff. Some of y'all I saw on streams. Some of y'all I'm getting to stream with for the first time. Some of I get to stream with y'all again, and it's an honor. And I just appreciate all of y'all being here so much. So with that, just make sure you hit those buttons and do what we got to fight this algorithm. Like I said to Hungry Boy, fuck the algorithm is my philosophy. I'll do what I want to when I want to, and I, like then we had a great time with sports ball. I know a lot of people panic with it, but we can always find ways to talk. And I tell you what, get me and Mark D with a C together. We'll geek you out with spreadsheets, statistics, and all kinds of crazy stuff.
I
And
like it. I
the
like
great
it.
Dave C. The great Dave C. is here.
Get those nerds.
I don't know
Dave-
what you're talking about. Do I look like a nerd to you?
Oh gosh, yeah. Absolutely. And of course, I love people in Texas. I've met so many, and especially with streaming world people, a lot of people from Texas. It's a great place to be. So, Hungry Boy, can I call you on you to start this next topic a little bit, since you're
Okay.
a good expert? The 70s cartoon shows.
Oh God, here we go.
How do you want to? How would you like to go with this? One question I would like to say: what is your favorite of the 70s, or what do you think really made the 70s cartoons great? I'll let you start while I'm trying to look at something real quick.
Well, I like the 60s and the 70s cartoon shows. I'm very big into both of them. But when you look at what really made the 70s cartoon shows great and added a lot of value for both children and the adults who might be watching along with them, you got to look at some of the Scooby-Doo movies from the early 70s where they had guest stars doing their own voices, like Sonny and Cher, like Don
Mhm.
Rickles.
Yeah.
You had all of this added value, to use an economic term, that really made these shows sparkle. And you had the Batman and Robin stuff. You had a whole bunch of stuff that Clobby really likes as well. And you had, at the early 70s, the thing is that Scooby-Doo started in '69, but then it moved into the 1970s, and that's where it really began. But you had spin-off shows, beautiful spin-off shows, like the Funky Phantom. The Funky Phantom was a wonderful show, an absolutely wonderful show. And then you had other cartoons that were spun off from the spin-off, where something was popular. So Hanna-Barbera and other cartoon shows like Filmation, cartoon studios like Filmation would create new versions of what they were already doing, but those new versions were equally good. So you have stuff like the Funky Phantom, you have stuff like Jabberjaw. Jabberjaw was a charming little show, which had a giant shark. Well, not giant so much, but a very big shark, who sounded very much like one of the Three Stooges, and that is just a charming concept, and it is innocent. And they would have their adventures, and they would solve their mysteries. And that just added things to the young minds of people growing up in the 70s, where you don't get that in the late 80s and the early 90s, you know. I mean, I make fun of SpongeBob, but the reason I'm making fun of SpongeBob is because SpongeBob basically tells kids to turn their brain off. Whereas with Scooby-Doo, and other shows going back to the 1960s, like the Herculoids and Johnny Quest, they were telling kids to turn their brain on and figure things out as the story progressed.
I want to ask him a question.
Uh-oh.
Okay, go ahead.
You keep talking about Scooby-Doo, so I want to know if you actually realize what Scooby-Doo was inspired by and based on.
That depends on your process in regards to.
No, there's a specific show that was actually used as the basis for a lot of the characters.
Which one are you referencing?
Dobie Gillis.
No, it's not. That's an argument that I do not.
No,
agree.
that's been documented.
It's been.
They actually flat out said it, and they
Not
based Scooby on Maynard G. Krebs.
Yes, that was an inspiration from the studios who saw the popularity of Dobie Gillis. But when you look at Alex Toth, do you know who Alex Toth is? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Alex Toth was basically the main creative force behind the visuals of Scooby-Doo, and Scooby-Doo visually is what caused the children to watch it and enjoy it.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that. I mean that without the first, you wouldn't have had the second, because a lot of the inspiration of why they pushed it as they did and created the characters as they did was from another show. I'm not saying it's the only thing they were drawing from, but I'm saying that it is part of why it became what it was and how it was made, how it was.
That is not part is not necessarily the pure inspiration. The fact of the matter is there were a whole bunch of other cartoons that were doing very well before Scooby-Doo came on the scene, and Dobie Gillis was something that they wanted to bring into the tableau, but it wasn't the pure reason why the series was created, and it wasn't the pure
I didn't
reason.
say pure reason.
Well, let me go ahead and break.
Referring things that
Hold on.
beyond what I said.
Let me break in real quick. And we can just continue the discussion in a second. JT Kirk, hey, I know JT's got to leave, but I want to see if you want to go out. What was if you wanted to say something real quick before you left about the '70s cartoons and stuff? Any favorites?
Oh gosh, it would probably have to be Scooby-Doo. I'm an 80s baby myself, so a lot of those cartoons were already well in reruns by the time I came along to be anything that I remembered. But it would be Scooby-Doo. And Hungry, I could tell you are well versed in this topic. I hate to bow out on you now, but it's 4:45 a.m. So I am fading fast.
You know what? We'll have to. Well, you know what? It gives us something to come back to another time with you two guys on for future with you two guys.
You can't have a life.
Well, yeah, my kids will let me know that in a few hours here.
Yes.
So
sorry.
Exactly.
yeah.
Well,
You got
JT,
little ones.
Yeah.
thank you for coming in and staying as long as you did.
Thank you,
Always fun.
JT.
Oh, well, thank you again for the invite. And as always, Lisa, Eagle, Hungry, it's always a pleasure to chat with you all. So, and it was great hanging out with the folks in the chat too, Lemon Pie and Canadian Spider-Man, Dave C, and all the rest of the folks. So I am, like I said, I'm fading fast. So I'm having
No,
to
no,
keep
no,
them,
by all means.
keeping my eyes open.
Hey,
So.
it's all good. You know, hey, I'll tell you what, I've fallen asleep on Mark's Fortnite, playing Fortnite before it happened. So, Dad man, go to bed. Dad man, go to bed. I'm like, okay, well, but yeah,
I've passed
you,
out
JT.
on streams before. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, JT, you have a great evening.
Get
and
some
thanks
rest.
for
Take
coming
care
in.
of yourself.
Thank you, and you all have a wonderful morning, evening, whatever part of the day it is for you. So
Almost 3 a.m.
I'll see you at Mark D with the C's channel for Sunday Night Geekery. So
Oh yeah, tomorrow night.
everybody take care.
Absolutely. All right,
Yep.
bye, JT.
Alrighty.
Sweet
Bye.
dreams, JT. And I wish you could get a Neumann tube mic so we could get good voiceovers from you for a new animated show.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
Wow,
That would be
JT
awesome. I'll have to
Yep.
sleep on that one.
The only problem is the Neumann tube mic costs about $3,000.
Oh, I'll have to dream on that one then. So,
with the food as you go to
exactly. All right. Well, take care, everyone.
bed. All right.
Alrighty.
Good night, sir.
Bye-bye.
Good night. All right. All
How
right.
can I go back to where I was? Because this part I do have.
Going
The
right
pro-
back to
No, the problem
Right.
I had is that you inferred that I was saying only or adding absolutes in it. I didn't for a reason. I'm very specific on that. The reason
Yeah,
I consider that one needs more crediting than it's given and needs more people to be aware of it than they do is because no matter how good the animation is, if the characters aren't endearing, if they don't entice people, it's not going to matter.
Well,
And that's
I
why
agree,
it
but
needs more
the
credits.
counterpoint- The counterpoint is if the visuals are not enticing, then the writing doesn't matter, and that has been the case with
To a
lot of
degree.
animated programs.
There's been a lot more
Yeah.
forgiveness on a lot of shows for the animation being kind of crap. I mean, look at how popular Cal Arts are right now.
Mhm.
Oh
Versus
God,
the characters aren't.
are you going to make me agree with you, woman? Are you going to make me agree with you? I mean,
I may be opinionated and I may hate a lot of shit, but I actually do know my shit.
I know, no, I'm not. No, but seriously, we're going to talk about Cal Arts now. We're going to talk about Steven fucking Universe. Oh my God.
Oh,
my
gosh.
I cannot understand the popularity of shit like Rick and Morty and all that shit. The
You know
Cal
what's
Arts and all that.
You know what's funny?
No.
I'm just sitting here like, and you two are going on, and it's like, I don't know about Lisa, but you two are going on Cal Arts and all that specific stuff, and all I hear is Charlie Brown's teacher. I mean, I think it's awesome. I think it's cool, and you know, this is probably a good topic for a topic earlier in the day when I can get my head around it. But it's just fascinating with where you go, and so we'll probably back it up just a little bit tonight.
That-
But only because I want to focus on the shows, what we liked and things like that. Because if we get too into the details, I think we're going to lose what we have left. And I know it's way over my top, but I do know that there's a thing about Cal Arts, and I know there's one other animated studio out there thing that does stuff that people question. It's like the trend, but people pay all this money for a degree, don't get jobs or get laid off. You know, it's like one of those things. Is it really worth spending the money for? So I mean, I love this discussion. We'll have to get a little bit.
But I'm on the panel and I don't
Yeah.
go deep, so let's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, and that's kind of thing is we're
Let's just
That's
not
not
go
an
deep.
appropriate joke.
I just like it on the edge, and
We'll
that's
keep it-
about it.
She likes the tip. I mean,
That tip will work for me, and
there you
not
go.
going deep. I don't
Yeah.
know you well
Okay,
enough
so-
to go deep.
We got
how
to
about I
get.
bring up a few other things from the 70s
Well,
here? Like,
and that thing is like with Hungry Boy too, Angle Writer and Lisa. What I mean, what shows did you like? What cartoons did you really like? You know, if you
My
wanted
favorite
something.
was Battle of the Planets and Speed Racer.
Oh gosh, I love Battle of the Planets.
if
you know.
you want to go through the stuff that came from there, it kind of anything from the late 60s to mid 70s Hanna-Barbera stuff I had a soft spot for. I actually have the collector's things of like Pearls of Penelope Pit, Stop Hong Kong Fooey and all that stuff. So I mean, I always kind of had a soft spot for that era of Hanna-Barbera because there were no fucks given. It was just funny. They didn't care if it was offensive to anybody.
Yeah.
Hungry
Boy,
I loved it.
Hungry Boy, any favorites?
He's muted.
Oh, okay. He might have stepped away. I just saw the private chat. Yeah. Oh, he got unplugged. He'll be right back. So I tell you, I like you said, Battle of the Planets. That was one of the ones I love the most. But is also in another like G-Force. Yeah. But I only learned recently in the last few years though that it was really based off of Japanese anime, Gatchaman, and I never knew that. But we got that too. We got the series here. We need to watch it sometime and have that to watch it. It's add that.
You have the full cartoon series
of the Gatchaman. Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant Battle of the Planets.
Right. Well, it's interesting how the characters were one way in that, and then different here for the Western audiences. It was funny how they had changed things around with it, and to the point about the Hanna-Barbera. Universal Studios Florida. One of the original rides they had was was a simulator ride where you sat in a thing with a lap bar, and it's changed over the years. Currently, it's a Minions ride. It had been a Jimmy Neutron ride, but originally it was a Hanna-Barbera ride. It was like Jetsons were involved, and you're trying to rescue Leroy, and you're flying in the simulator thing, and in the big audience with the screen up there. But what was really, really cool was that they actually had Hanna-Barbera in the pre-show. The real life Hanna-Barbera. You got to see them, and actually one of them, and I don't remember. There's the gray-haired one and the dark-haired one, and one of the two actually did a little. You could see them doing a drawing of Dick Dastardly, a little bit rough drawing of it. Then it animated and became the ride. I really thought it was really cool to see the real life people. Hungry, we would talked a little bit about Hanna-Barbera, but to you as a viewer, what were the shows that you really liked at that time back then?
Well, I mean, there was a ton.
Hey, Red Shirt
mentioned Battle of the Planets, but I also really liked Star Blazers.
Oh.
I really liked the story of Star Blazers, which of course was taken from the Japanese battleship Yamato, and I enjoyed that a lot. I liked the potential romance of it. I liked the scope of it. I tended to gravitate towards stuff that was based off the Japanese material or the actual Japanese anime, but there were other things as well. When it comes to animation in the 70s, Hanna-Barbera was very much my go-to. I mean, admittedly, before the 80s began, there was some great stuff like the Flash Gordon cartoon, which came at the end of the 70s, the very end of the 70s. But that was really charming work as well. Really charming and very faithful to the original stuff. And a lot of people don't realize or they forget that was before the 1980 Flash Gordon live action movie, which was quite adorable in its way. I love the 1980 Flash Gordon film. Max von Sydow, how can you go wrong? Anything with Max von Sydow is golden. It is golden. Even though I don't like the Luciferian stuff, okay, The Exorcist is a great movie, and Max von Sydow made sure that movie was better than it should have been. But when you have Max von Sydow as Ming the Merciless, that's fantastic. But when you go back a year or two to the Flash Gordon cartoon, that is just amazing stuff. And it makes little kids think. And a cartoon should always entertain, but it's just like the original Doctor Who from 1963 to 1973, which had an obligation from the BBC to make children think. Yes, we entertain them. Yes, we give a monster. Yes, we have a battle. but we allow the children to think about it instead of
Mhm.
just dumb them down.
Mhm.
And I do not like the dumbing down of children. And
Mhm.
I like high fantasy, high adventure. And if you can mix making a child think with high adventure, I think you're doing the best work you can do.
Well, to that point, the one of the things that I found interesting, because I'm new to the Star Trek, because I was always the Star Wars snob and stuff, but was starting to watch the Saturday night shows. When I first came in, it was the animated series.
Oh God,
And-
that was a
and
good series.
to
That's
hear-
one of my favorite- oh,
to hear them
thank-
talking about that, how it was a Saturday morning show, that
Yeah.
brought back memories to me. It wasn't. That's the way we were in the 70s. It was just presented whatever, things like that. It was not. I mean, not that everything was mature, like say the Star Trek had a serious thing, but even the comedy, even the funny ones were still written with some
Right.
level of intellect or a little level of challenging the kids' views, how they think and stuff like that. It was not just all slapstick and goof gag humor. So, but I got to say this real quick. We've got 18 votes, folks. Somebody's got to keep voting. We have a tie at 28% between cherry pie and chocolate cream pie. Lemon pie and key lime are both tied at 22%. So, another Dad Man poll, which is it's a photo finish to see who wins. So, but yeah, I know. See, because we kid a lot about with SpongeBob. But I say it now to this point is it's something that's great when I truly want a mind dump. Like if I've had a bad day at work and I just want to kind of just don't want to think. It's good for that, and that's where I like it. But I do see the difference between that and the really the intellectually challenging shows of the 70s, like Lisa mentioned, Battle of the Planets, G-Force.
Yes.
The things that had a theme, you had an enemy, but it was not just gimmicky it was actually more, I think, respectful, not just the lore, but of the viewer's intelligence than some of the Marvel movies. Like when we get funny Thor, that's just, you can't take serious anymore. That's cartoons of this HR, even the shows like HR Puff and stuff. And
I loved HR Puff and stuff.
Mrs. loved that show, but they were cute. They were age appropriate, but they were not. They also just were not just stupid. You fell in love with them.
You remember Land of the Lost?
I loved Land of the Lost.
Slee Stacks.
Right, exactly. And that was a Sid and Marty Krofft show. Most people forget that. They remember HR Puff and stuff. Land of the Lost was a Sid and Marty Krofft show. And you had the Slee Stacks, and then you had Enoch, who was the Slee Stack from the future. And you had all these big concepts for a children's show. And it was magnificent. And yes, it was low budget, but the point is, just like Doctor Who, 1960s Doctor Who, when they did not have the budget, they made it up in the script. They made it
exactly
up in the intelligence of the script.
Yeah, I do want to say one thing to Canadian Spider-Man. I don't think we're going to talk Strange Brew tonight, but you give me an idea for the future because I love that movie.
I think I probably surprised him that I actually have that movie and was a big fan of the whole Bob and Doug stuff with Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas.
I love that. They were.
I love their stuff.
I know it was awesome.
Their school announcement skit is one of my favorites. I gotta admit it, especially when they're talking about let's go out and smoke and stuff with students. It's like, oh god.
And we talked about some names. You talk about Sid and Marty Krofft. It seemed like every show was theirs. Hanna-Barbera, if it was animated, every show was theirs. But also, this is the name Red Shirt brings up that I remember seeing this. DePatie Frayling. Isn't that the Pink Panther? That name of the artist, creators, that name looks familiar to me. Is it Fritz Frayling also?
I've been up for too long. That name is familiar, but I forgot where it comes from. I
will.
Also, Deadman.
Yeah.
When we're talking about stuff that all of us here on the panel right now would love, right? We go to the original 1960s Johnny Quest. 2 seasons.
Oh, wow.
I don't know that.
Oh,
I
Lisa,
do, and I'm not. It's not even my normal style, but actually, I kind of soft spot for it when I saw it.
And
Yeah.
just to clarify, Red Shirt, yes, he says it's right, and I just brought it up. DePatie Frayling Enterprises is an animation production company active from 1963 to 1981, and Pink Panther is one of the shows. Oh, the shark! Oh wow, a whole bunch of different things. So, let me see if I can bring this up real quick. We can look at. Let's see.
I'm just going to DM Lisa here for a moment. Keep talking.
Yeah, so let me bring this up real quick to show this, and this is some of the images that they have with that.
Now, see, he's got me in chat. Actually, talk about stuff I like. I'm going to lose my reputation for hating everything. And you all, anyways.
Well, Eagle Rider, we like to be positive and love some things around here. So we get everybody see that love and smiling that you have and stuff. We're going to bring it out of you. But see, there's a lot of we got the Pink Panther. I love the painter guy and the aardvark. Oh gosh,
I think my hard spot is most of the Hanna-Barbera stuff I really love started or was in the 60s actually.
Mm-hmm.
I go through everything from the Top Cat stuff to Wacky Races and all that. Most was heavily 60s. Even when they dipped into the 70s, it was barely. And so it's like I think most of what I preferred came a bit before that, and that seems to be my average. Is when you got to the late hippie into the disco era, most of the pop culture wasn't as appealing to me in that era as it was before that in the more vintage through like end of the beatnik to early hippie eras, because they had less of an impact entertainment then. They weren't listened to as much.
Wow. Yeah, I agree.
That's just so funny because I'm a Gen Xer. I'm a little bit older than Dad Man, so I mean I grew up with hippies. Okay, I was listening to Jesus Christ Superstar in the womb, Eagle, in the womb. My mother was playing Jesus Christ Superstar and Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds to me in the womb. So I'm just like, yeah, hippie stuff.
And I am pretty much probably as far from hippie as you can get in the. I like the traditional beatnik before they went all hippie, where it really was just outsider thinking and kind of early gothic and stuff like that. But when they started going into all the flower power and all that, I'm done. I'm done.
Early gothic. No, I love that. I'm not mocking you. I'm liking that because
my heroes,
the beatnik.
I don't know how to explain it better than my heroes, the ones I looked up to for sexy woman that was powerful, was Morticia Addams and Jessica Rabbit, if that gives you a clue what kind of girl I am.
And early 1950s Roger Corman films, Bucket of Blood.
Morticia Addams and Jessica Rabbit. That's literally this drawing is a mashup of them that I did.
You're younger than me, but I respect it. Okay.
I love the classic cultures. Okay, but I Jessica. The reason I like them so much is part of what I hate all the stuff today. The reason I like them so much is not just that they could be sexy and beautiful and still be strong, which they were, but because they could be strong, opinionated, and still be kind, loving, and incredibly devoted wives who treated their husbands like they were amazing people for being with them.
Well, I mean, I don't like using a woke word, so to speak, but these were women characters who had agency that they decided for themselves. That was not given to them. They decided to be strong and tough when it was the appropriate moment, but they decided also to be the good wife, the good mother.
And that's what I respect. I can't stand these women who think that to be strong, you have to try to either tear men down or bash on and attack and hate on other women. Don't
destroy marriage or destroy motherhood. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, on that note, we're going to move forward on the topic because I'm bringing in. Listen, one of the people that I remember from the early days of my coming through chats and stuff. This guy has been like, I think I probably saw him over on Nerdrotic chats, but this is the name that's it sticks with you. And I think it's awesome. Whenever I get to talk to this guy, because one of the first people to greet me in chats many years ago and things and come around, and now to be able to have him come on, and he's everywhere too. He's not the guy that will die first on the away mission, even though he wears that color shirt. Let's all give a great Dad Man greeting, damn it, Mark, to the great Just Another Red Shirt. Hey, Red Shirt.
Hey, Red Shirt, it's been a while since we've streamed together.
It has been, Eagle Rider. It has been. Yeah, thank you, Dad Man.
Here, I'll just keep calling me young, please.
Yeah. Yeah, you are young.
All right, Red Shirt.
Yeah, I'll just say for the record, Dad Man. I'll say for the record, Dad Man. I'm in engineering, not security. That's why I don't go on away missions.
Okay, well, there you get the red shirt. Gotcha. Okay, that's why Scotty had the red shirt.
That's right.
I always got confused with how does he still live, and the joke is about the red shirt, and they're the ones to get eliminated on the away missions. But hey, thank you. I learned. Now, Red Shirt, thank you, and we can talk about what the topics here. I brought Red Shirt in because he had mentioned the Frayling, to Patty Freeling. What did you want to say with that?
Well, the Patty Freeling was an offshoot of Warner Brothers, literally, because Friz Freleng knew that the writing was on the wall in the early '60s, late '50s, early '60s. He knew He knew that they were running out of money because they couldn't sell cartoons to movie theaters. Yeah. This is how cartoons were forced to go from movie theaters to daytime television, especially Saturday morning television, because the budgets kept getting smaller and smaller, so they couldn't afford to do full animation. They couldn't pay all of the animators and in-betweeners to draw every frame by hand. And Freeling saw the writing on the wall, and DePatie was a money guy. He was basically the financier producer. And they essentially founded their company when they got the contract to do the credits for the first Pink Panther film. That's why the Pink Panther was their big character, because they invented him for the credits. They got, the story goes that DePatie said to Freeling, "We're in, we got it, we can start the company." He's like, "Why?" This is because I just got a call that we're going to do the credits for the new for a Pink Panther, this movie called The Pink Panther. And Freeling's like, "Oh, Pink Panther. That sounds interesting. I could do something with that. How long do we have?" He said they want 9 minutes. Now keep in mind, a Warner Brothers cartoon traditionally was about 6 minutes. So the credits were half again as long as a single Warner Brothers cartoon. And Freeling's like, "Yeah, when do we start?"
Yes. Let me do something really quick, though. I've got a new person, a guest, not a guest, but in the chat. But this person's not on the YouTube side. It's actually over on the Twitch side. Fallout 010. Welcome. Appreciate you being here, Fallout. I think usually Fallout is actually, I've streamed some games with them on another channel a while back, but I think usually I'm asleep and he's streaming, so we're crossing the streams tonight. Welcome in. So, all right. So, welcome in. Just wanted to make sure we shouted that out on the Twitch side. So, make sure. Oh, yeah. Follow Blame's work. I gotcha. So, if you haven't, follow us over on the Twitch side. We're also on the Twitch side and here on YouTube. So, all right. So, okay. All righty. So, everybody just keep calling Eagle Rider Young and we'll all be happy. And Lisa, too. So, hey, we got to take care of our great panelist here tonight.
There's our young girl. There's our young girl, right?
Right, Kitty. Wow. Oh. Hello,
Ryan
Kitty.
Is my girl. I was with her when she first started streaming and hanging out with people back in the end of 19. I love Riot to pieces. She's my girl.
I know, right? Kitty's awesome to have. So. Even plays Fortnite. So hey, all right. Sorry, Red Shirt. I cut you off. I just needed to do a shout out real quick there.
Not a problem. No, not at all. But yeah, DePatie Freeling and somebody in the chat, and I my chat was starting to buffer, so the stream was starting to buffer, so I'm staying on StreamYard. So I'm not sure who said it, but they were like, "Wasn't Freeling one of the Bugs Bunny type animators?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he was a director from way back. He was one of the longest serving directors at Warner Brothers. And his departure, was huge. Thank you. Canadian Spider-Man, exactly. His departure was huge for Warner Brothers. They lost him. They fired Chuck Jones. This is early 60s leading up to the shutdown at 63. And pretty much that was the end of full animation. And I mean, the thing about Freeling was he was an amazing perfectionist in his own way, much like Chuck Jones. And Jones didn't want to do partial animation. He wanted to do stylized, but he didn't want to do partial. Freeling was like, well, we're just going to have to figure out how to make it look as good as possible with the budget we have. And that's why I love the Pink Panther cartoons of the 70s, because yes, they're partial animation like everybody else, like, the Jetsons and everything was. Huckleberry Hound and Yogi Bear. But Freeling kept the attitude that, hey, if the animation's not absolutely carrying the gag, the writing can. So you get both of those in the Pink Panther cartoons. You get that in some of the 70s cartoons where they really paid attention to the writing. They really paid attention to, we have to make people laugh. These are supposed to be funny. They're supposed to be entertaining. And the visual gags became less effective with partial animation because the money wasn't there to just draw all of these drawings. But the best cartoon studios turned it into partially verbal humor in addition to the visual humor. And they still worked, but not all of them could do it. So the 70s, that was when I was like, no, I started watching reruns of Warner Brothers cartoons.
That's too funny. But hey, yeah, it's interesting because see, I always liked the Pink Panther. I like the Inspector Clouseau part of it. Those are really, you had the mini cartoons within a whole show. It wasn't necessarily always a 28-minute episode. You get 10 minutes here, or and then you mix it up in between. Interchange while you had some like Battle of the Planets or Land of the Lost that were, they were full episodic shows. But I really like the Pink Panther type shows because it was a few minutes and then you're done. You didn't have to stay for it for a whole half hour, which I think went well with the animation. The gags. Because you could change it up, go to a new scene or new story. How do you Red Shirt? Did you have any favorites?
Well, actually, for the 70s, I mean, aside from watching reruns of the classic earlier cartoons, full animation, the Pink Panther would probably be my favorite of the 70s that was being produced then, because they did have that was a little more sophisticated. I was growing up, I was getting a little older, getting into junior high school and in the late 70s high school. So, the Huckleberry Hound and Quick Draw McGraw were starting to get a little, childish from my point of view. And the thing I love about Warner Brothers is, and the old MGM, is that they were made for movie theaters. So they were made for adults as well as children. There's some wonderful gags in there that went right over the kids' heads, and the adults all laughed. And that went away when it was made for Saturday morning television. If it was made for kids to watch, in between cereal commercials, which is pretty much what Saturday morning television was, they were making the gags and the jokes and all of the cartoons for kids. And the humor got less sophisticated. Yeah. So the thing about the Pink Panther was that every once in a while, he'd just look out at the audience, break the fourth wall, raise an eyebrow and go, see? Or something like that, and it would be completely, a very sophisticated form of humor, very minimalist, but it would work. So I love those. And that's why I said no love for Depati Freely, because that was one of the two studios. Hanna-Barbera, of course, is the other huge one for that era. And they are probably the other one that I would watch. I mean, I watched Jetsons and things like that. Because they actually tried to do a little bit of the, let's not just make this for the kids. Maybe mom or dad is sitting in, having breakfast with the kids while watching this. But yeah, they're still good. It's just the art style changed
Right.
for better or worse. I personally not a big fan of partial animation, but the humor was much more focused on kids in the 70s. And the few cartoon studios that were still willing to occasionally reach out over the kids' heads and zing the parents, zing the adults in the room, are fun to watch now. They're still fun to watch. You can watch it now.
See, the thing is, what I liked back then too was that it. Listen, we know this is an after 18 channel. Obviously, tonight we've had quite a few jokes and stuff along the way, but unfortunately, there's times and places for everything. And it seems like, at least to me, a lot of the more modern even the kid stuff is getting more blatantly adult themes, suggestive sexually, and other things like that used to not be as in your face as in the 70s. You just looking back, you could see things that were there at times, but especially Saturday morning, it was not it was just clean. I'd say get clean fun, and let the art, like you said, the animation do the gag to get the laugh, or maybe occasionally it was the wording. And that's what I miss with the 70s is not only was it at an intellectual level, it wasn't dumbed down, but it just seemed it was appropriate, and yet it was still funny at the same time.
Yes. I mean, I can give you a really early example of adult humor in a cartoon. It's from the very earliest days, and this goes back to Friz Freleng because he invented the character of Tweety Bird. You have two cats who are after Tweety, and the cats are caricatures of Abbott and Costello. So this is from the early 30s, I think. And the Hays Commission had just, where the Hays Board was, or the Hays Commission? They were the self-censorship board that Hollywood instituted to avoid government censorship. So they forced Betty Boop to lose the garter belt and lengthen her skirt or dress.
Okay.
And a few other things. And they instituted language rules for what characters could and couldn't say, even in cartoons. And certainly in movies. So this was across all of Hollywood. The Hays Board became the censors. Well, there's this cartoon where Tweety, back when he was pink, and the Hays Board eventually told him you have to he's nude. You can't have him be nude. He has to be yellow or something. He has to have feathers. So that's why Tweety went from pink to yellow, because the Hays Board said you can't have a nude little bird.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So for Tweety's first 2 or 3 cartoons, he was pink. And he was a Jimmy Durante clone. He was a wise ass. So he's sitting up in his little round nest on a tree branch, and the two cats get a ladder and they put it up, and Abbott is yelling at Costello, "Climb the ladder and get me the bird. Get me the bird." And so the fat cat, the little short fat cat, climbs up the ladder, and the camera's looking across at the top of the ladder, and here comes the cat, and he looks down at the bird, and you hear Abbott finally one more time go, "Give me the bird." And Abbott looks the cat looks right into the camera and goes, "If it weren't for the Hays Board, I'd give him the bird."
Oh gosh.
So yeah, I'd flip him the bird. Then the kid, I was a teenager before I finally got that joke. It went right over the kids' heads, but it wasn't suggestive. It didn't involve the kids in the joke, like Big Mouth, who's my worst example of a terrible cartoon. That as far as I'm concerned, nobody should be watching because it's horrendous. But yeah, that was an example of a joke in a cartoon that was intended to go over the kids' heads, aimed straight at the adults in the room. That was what they did. Yeah, that's been lost. That has been lost.
I like what you said about crashing that fourth wall, and I see even Fallout says he remembers that, and I don't remember that particular instance, but I do remember they would do stuff like that, and you laugh at the reality. It's like to me, that's where good art comes from, or good humor. It's like you find a way to do what's banned, but you find a creative way to do it that they can't deny you. And I think that's part of the genius of that. And I think it gives them more sophistication and intelligence to it, instead of just browbeating somebody with visual images.
Yes.
Because like Hungry, and I've talked about the difference with like the horror genre,
God.
is, so much now is just so much gore and graphicness, whereas, you lost that Hitchcockian type of, it's in your mind, it's inferred, you don't necessarily see it, but it causes that terror in you. I like the stupid Trilogy of Terror.
Yeah.
That thing left me with nightmares. I mean, and I still remember it to this day as vividly as it was. But I can tell you, I've seen a few slasher movies. I don't remember them. It didn't mean anything to me,
Yeah.
So, and Fallout says here that, oh shoot, sorry, that was it's back in the day they censored the cartoon characters shooting themselves. Yeah,
Well, that's recent.
yeah.
That's actually started in the 90s,
Mhm.
about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I actually was on a stream one time with a guy, and I was describing one of Chuck Jones' classic cartoons. It was Duck Rabbit Duck, where Daffy keeps saying, Bugs keeps confusing Daffy with pronouns, and Daffy finally, comes up with, "So I demand that you shoot me now. So shoot me now." Blam. And his bill winds up in a weird place.
Oh, it spins around his head, I think. doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, it does all kinds of crazy
Yeah.
things. It lands on the ground. It's on top of his head. It spins around. And this guy on the stream with us suddenly burst out with, "Are you shitting me? They
Yeah.
actually cut out all the shotgun blasts?" I said, "Yeah, that's why it didn't make any sense to you."
And now you got now you've got it where Elmer Fudd can't carry the rifle, the shotgun anymore. It's just all kinds of different things, and it's just
It's
really
silly.
so.
And it's funny because back in long before the nannies, the Karens started caring about violence in cartoons, there was a study done, and they asked children, "Can you tell the difference between violence in live action movies and violence in cartoons?" And children as young as 5 could tell the difference perfectly.
Yeah.
And
I
the
never
cor-
had any trouble with that.
Yeah.
That was
No.
always obvious.
And it's ironic that the Three Stooges had to do a national stage tour where they demonstrated how they did their stunts,
Yeah.
so that children wouldn't think that their violence was
wow.
that you could get away with hitting somebody on the head with a hammer. They had to show how they did all of their gags.
Well, that's like telling a magician to show all of his tricks,
Well,
So-
yeah, but the problem was there were kids getting whacked on the head with a hammer because somebody, a sibling or a relative thought, "Hey, I can do this just like the Three Stooges." Bonk, and down to the ground you go. It happened.
If you don't mind, I just want to interject here and then let you comment upon it.
Okay.
In the 70s, there was a Warner Brothers cartoon that we saw, and as of the 90s, it was removed, if you know what I mean, regarding censorship,
Yeah.
where there was a baby. I think it was a Bugs Bunny cartoon. There was a baby that was just not going to shut up. It was just the kid in the crib was just not giving any relief at all to the main character in the cartoon. So the main character in the cartoon, I believe it was Bugs Bunny, slammed a bottle of laudanum, which is liquid opium for people who don't know,
Yeah.
into the mouth of that kid. And you saw the animation of the eyes have the pupils go into horse eyes. Just a whoop, and suddenly that kid got really quiet. And that is not shown anywhere on television at all. It's not findable on the internet at all. But we all saw it in the 70s, and we thought, what's laudanum? and we looked it up, and we went, "Oh, that's kind of messed up."
No.
But it's funny. It's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. And all the stuff that we did in the 70s and we saw it on, we didn't go out and replicate it necessarily. It's
No.
crazy.
And that's the thing. Kids didn't replicate cartoon violence because you didn't push your friend off a cliff to see how long it would take him to hit the bottom and leave a dust cloud like the
Depends
coyote.
on how much you hated him.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I know. Well, Lisa, what do you think with the 70s cartoons? How did you like this, with the stuff? Did you like the things like the Pink Panthers and all that? What do you think with the art of animation? What did you like back then?
I was thinking of Pepe Le Pew while Red Shirt was chatting,
Oh wow, yes.
and how relevant today Pepe Le Pew would be
Ha.
ostracized because he was always after the cat.
Right.
He's
Um,
been called a stalker by BuzzFeed, Lisa.
Right, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So I
And you know
think
the irony? The irony is that Pepe Le Pew was modeled after one of the guys at Termite Terrace, who was a clothes horse, who was always perfectly coiffed and always looked good. And he was convinced he was God's gift to women, and he couldn't get a date.
Yeah. I know.
And that was Pepe Le Pew, the guy who looked like a Hollywood movie star who could not get a date to save his life. But it never convinced him that he was not attractive to women. He was always trying.
Hey, that's how I hugged the missus. I didn't give a shit. I just, hey, I'm dad man.
Brian.
My dad had it's crazy, but
There's
go ahead.
literally a comedian I listened to stuff. It was very Christian comedian. One of his songs he did is literally called Stalker, and he calls it the way he met his wife.
oh jeez.
Ah,
Well, let me say hello. We got more people on the Twitch side. Hey, Jeff, good to see you tonight. I am up really, really late tonight, but Fallout says something here, and I don't like using woke a lot here. I don't like using canceled a lot either. But I will say this. I think it was in the most recent, the reboot of the Space Jam movie. I believe that they took out Pepe Le Pew for that very reason. He
Yeah.
was supposed to have a part in the movie, but then they called him whatever, so then he got replaced. So, and hey,
They
Jess,
also tried to cancel Speedy, and it was literally Fluffy, who's Mexican, that was voicing him. So he went out and made
Yes.
fun of them for it.
Hey,
In fact,
Jess,
saying that you can't cancel me, I'm the fastest mouse in all Mexico.
yeah, exactly.
Well, they've actually tried to cancel Pepe twice
Yep.
yeah.
and failed both times. And the second time was, yes, during Space Jam. And the voice actor for Pepe said, no, he's a hero to the Latino community. And I was hanging out in Paulie's chat on Latino Slant, and he covered it. And he was like, what are you, out of your minds?
Right. Right. And I saw that stream, and Paulie is 100% right. And when I lived in the United States, I was friends with a lot of Latinos and people who self-described as Hispanic, which is very different. And Paulie's kind of gone into that aspect of culture as well. But the fact of the matter is, nobody from any Spanish derivation has any problem with that character.
No,
And-
they considered it positive representation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, they did. He was a hero, like Zorro.
And even his cousin, even Slowpoke, was a very kind and loving person. It was not
He was
an
also-
insulting character.
He was also the smartest mouse in all Mexico.
Right?
Yeah.
And a lot smarter than fucking Mickey. Sorry, Disney.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Nobody ever
Or-
has to say sorry to Disney.
No, nobody should
Yes.
apologize to
Yes.
Disney ever at this point.
Yeah. Well, let me say, hey guys, we got 12 people still watching us. We actually have 6 on the Twitch side. So
I'm gonna
thank you
sound
guys
like
on
a
Twitch.
bastard
Make sure
here,
you
but-
follow us over there. If you are on the YouTube side, make sure you voted in our poll. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, because we do have. I want to update this really quickly now, because we might have to.
I'm going to probably wrap up in the next couple minutes. I mean, this is a heck of a topic. May have to come back to this on another stream with more time. Right now we have 19 votes. What is your favorite pie on the YouTube side? Cherry pie leads 32, chocolate cream 26, lemon and key lime tied at 21. So get your votes in. Vote early, vote often, and
You can't
get your
vote
neighbors in.
often.
Theoretically,
That's
anyway.
cheating.
Listen, you remember, it's my veiled political comment for the day that only I do, which is veiled because I don't do politics. But anyway, it's so funny. But hey, but no, I appreciate all you guys coming in for this. I think we'll probably go ahead. We are almost at 5:30 a.m. on the East Coast. We are got 12 people with us. We've been going for about just over 3 hours. So, any other thoughts of y'all on this topic before we start the process to close up?
Yes, Mickey is a boring fucking character.
Okay, but do you think that? Let me ask you this though. But originally, was he, or is it just something because it's been around so long that it's become?
No, I agree with Hungry.
Yeah.
I was never entertained by Mickey Mouse. Minnie had more personality, I think.
Right.
What about Donald Duck though?
I always found the main Disney characters really trite and annoying myself.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with Lisa. I agree with Madman. I agree with Eagle. The thing is that Mickey was basically the grounding element for the gags to be presented around him. Donald was always more interesting. Goofy was always more interesting. Every character was more interesting than Mickey, even Minnie. Every character, and he bored me. Even as a kid, he bored me to
But
tears.
is that because it's like a 1950s
And is this
character?
why Fantasia was so boring because it was Mickey?
Yeah. Well, Lisa said about the 19. Was it because it's 1950s
Is
Hungry?
it 1950s or was it earlier than that?
Oh no, no, no,
Mickey Mouse?
no! Mickey was 1927. Steamboat Willie.
Okay, so that's and I was born in never mind. But
I love you.
but it's an old character, and I'm wondering if it just didn't age well.
I mean, he goes back to the
I love old characters, but I don't like him. So,
But I'm saying for the general population, not personally.
Okay, Hungry, take that question. And by the way, we got 20 votes now. Now we got a damn tie again between cherry and chocolate. So somebody get in their vote, hit that sub button, like. Okay, go ahead, Hungry. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say Mickey was incredibly boring from when we first saw Steamboat Willie up until the 50s, and then he started getting some character agency. And then he was basically kind of interesting, but only interesting in order to let other characters be more interesting than he was.
Was that due to the technology?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't mean to sound curt there.
No, I liked your answer because it got to the point quickly.
Yeah. Lisa likes the quick point. It's just, anyway. Let's get to the point. Just the facts. Joe Friday.
Well, the art with all of the studios, Disney included, including Warner Brothers, including MGM, the art style, the animation style changed and evolved over time. Disney was probably less likely to change because Walt was literally looking over everybody's shoulders.
Yeah, and he did the voice for Mickey for the first 10 or so years.
Yes. So, I mean, you know, the
boring plays boring. I mean,
Disney was a one-man show for a long time. In fact, Warner Brothers started with people who decided they couldn't work with Walt Disney.
Oh.
Right.
We wouldn't have had Bugs Bunny, Porky Pig, Daffy Duck, and all of the other characters of Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies had it not been for Walt Disney driving away.
Being an insufferable pain in the ass.
Yeah, basically. He could be. He was not a fun guy to work for.
And yet I'd rather have him than modern Disney. Fuck Disney. I mean,
no argument there. He's still that was still better than what's going on now.
Uncle Walt was not nice. Hey,
well, my viewpoint with Disney was, as a kid, I never really thought their stuff animated or live action was good then when I was a kid, and it was geared towards kids. And then what was that space one that they made in, I think,
The
Black Hole.
That was probably the best thing they ever came out with.
it was different for sure.
And then on rewatch, it's not so good. But
yeah,
Yeah, I think that was their
Revolt
first.
is not good except for the animated, like Snow White, Cinderella. Fantasia never really did much. But,
Fantasia's boring as hell, and I like classical music. What does that tell you?
but
Oh, I love Fantasia. Don't get me started.
Where
on
you go to-
Fantasia.
where you go to go for-
Vaulted animated has kept them going, I think. But their vault is slim on quality work.
right. And
I mean, the Apple Dumpling Gang. Are you kidding me? That's
Oh,
Wait a minute. That's not as bad as the computer wore tennis shoes.
I mean, I loved Herbie. Remember Herbie,
Yeah,
the little
of course.
Volkswagen?
That had
That's-
Kurt, though, red shirt. That had Kurt.
I'm going to
Now,
jump in
Herbie,
here now.
I couldn't stand.
I'm going to
Herbie.
jump in here though, real quick with that because you mentioned that, Lisa, and Herbie was always fun. But it was after the '70s. It's when I started getting older. All the my friends, my family, they were like, "Oh, all these like the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, all those type of movies." They're like, "Oh, these are good and classic," but I never really liked them that much.
Exactly.
There was something about them that they were nice, they were okay, but I didn't see why they got all this. And maybe it's because at the time we had so few avenues of entertainment. There were so few
No, I
options.
just think their
I-
product is
Yeah.
always flawed.
I overall agree. And the thing is that there's almost nothing that Disney's ever made that they didn't steal from somebody else. I do have a soft spot for the Gnome-mobile, but that's because I have a soft spot for the Little People mythologies. So
Okay.
But Dad, man, you didn't like Herbie the Love Bug movies?
I liked it, especially Lindsay Lohan, but that's the wrong Herbie movies. But no, I like the Herbie movies. No, it was the other ones. I was not a fan of Mary Poppins. I was not a fan
Do you remember
of
Race
Fantasia.
to Witch Mountain?
I definitely
God,
did not
yes.
watch that one. Yeah.
So
Cats
yeah,
from Outer Space was interesting, though.
we
But
know
see,
all of these
the animated
things.
ones. Go ahead,
We've all
Lisa.
seen it. It's just not rewatchable.
And
Mhm.
Escape from Witch Mountain, Lisa. I've seen
Yeah.
all of them. I love them.
But you have to have a property that's going to generate money
Yeah.
Yep.
forever. I mean, I hate going back to Star Wars.
Go ahead, Lisa. You can say what you want.
Because they should let it die already. 'Cause they
Well,
Well, that's
ruined it.
kind of the thing. We compare every property to Star Wars
Oh,
and
wow.
the rise and fall of a property.
Yeah.
Can
And
we
I tell
just
you
let
what,
everything die and start making something new already, please?
I
Because
think-
everything right now is
because
remakes and
everybody's
retellings and reboots.
Creatively bankrupt. That's
Yeah.
why nothing new is coming out.
and
Yeah,
see,
here,
listen,
here,
I-
Lisa.
Even if like bankrupt, there's still like hundreds of thousands of myths out there to all different cultures that have never been touched. That you could easily make into a movie with very little work.
Yeah.
But in order to have mass appeal, you need to have money, and the money men don't want it out there.
Well, you look at it. Everybody thought we'd get all kind of original and continue going on. Once the mouse bought the franchise, but then they basically the first movie out, they just did a reboot of the original Star Wars and never even got the actors back together. Which, it's like, why reboot it for the same thing that started us? Why not go in a different angle, make a new movie? I mean, even if you wanted to introduce new
Well, that's what
characters,
Disney did.
you
They Disneyfied Star Wars, and
Yeah.
they made it a product where you watch once and
Yeah.
never will watch ever again.
And the other part that I do not like, because you and I've had some discussions, and listen, every opinion here is you got to have it. If you like the new Disney Star Wars and stuff, fine for you. It's really an area that I have personal problems with, especially when Jackass Darth Maul keeps coming back again and again.
We're not getting into that today.
I know. We'll be up till noon by at that point. So
24-hour stream, Dad, man.
there you go. I
And
got
for
plenty of people
freak's
that-
sakes, do not put energy blade on the hilt.
but
God,
the-
that pisses
but
me
they
off.
did. I don't want to have to, like I heard some description was, well, you got to watch Rebels, you got to watch this to get the next. I do not want
No,
to
I
have to
don't
watch.
gotta watch shit.
Exactly. I don't want to have to quote watch shows
I
to keep a plot
understand
line.
that.
And it's not just the Star Wars franchise. I've heard it with some of the other things that they it seems to be this move, like with the Marvel stuff, that you need to
Oh,
watch
yeah.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
You need to watch
Well,
all these other shows, otherwise you're going to
They
miss the
tied
next
it
movie.
all together. And with Marvel, it started okay. Some of the movies were good at the beginning. I didn't even mind Agents of Shield, but everything got so interwoven. And by the time you're getting into the second season of Agents of Shield, literally the ending of one episode would be tied to the movie they released that weekend, and the end of that movie would be tied to the next episode. So they're trying to get you to go to the theater and watch that freaking
Right.
weekend for the opening and stuff. It's like, oh, go to hell, go to hell.
I
And
think
that
the MCU
go
did
ahead,
a
Lisa.
very excellent job in creating a universe.
agreed.
They
I think that
they
definitely
interwoven
did do that.
stories and excellent characters. Unfortunately, the
Jedi,
fourth-
sweetie.
Hi, Jedi Bill.
hi Jedi Bill.
Hey,
Good to
Jedi
see
Bill.
you. Good to see you. Hey, by the way, we got another sub. We're up to 431 tonight.
Hey
I
Jedi Bill, we're
Hey,
talking about you.
I can't believe I'm up past Jedi Bill. That
We're
doesn't
talking
happen
about
often.
Jedi.
Yes.
I can't believe my head's still upright with the medicine I took half an hour ago.
Oh, there you go. Okay, Lisa, I'm sorry I cut you off, but go ahead. You
it's
talked
okay.
about that Marvel created a good.
Well, the
good
universe was phenomenal. I mean, we all went to those movies. We
Yeah.
went and see Infinity War or whatever the hell the movie is. After that, they were done. They
Yeah.
became full on Disney because weren't they all mostly Fox created shows?
Some were.
And
a
then
few.
once the Fox stuff was over, then it became full Disney. Well, then they created the Disney formula of here's a show, here's a
Yeah.
lot of shows. Everybody's going to watch it once and never watch it again.
Mhm.
Well,
I mean, that's their
where
formula.
that's where the creative bankruptcy comes in, because
Yeah.
Disney's been losing creatives since the 90s.
Well, since the beginning of time, really, if you think about it, all the way
Well,
back.
they-
to
they-
let's be
now.
honest. Everything Disney does is a ripoff of something else. Everything.
But that's a lot of art. That's a
Hi-
lot of
There's a difference between being inspired by versus basically copying and just claiming it's yours,
Right.
which is how
Right.
Disney
Right.
processed the last one. Meanwhile, my cat decided the stream wasn't about her. So
No,
she
exactly.
fixed that.
Hey, cats! I see so many streams. The cats take over streams. It wouldn't be. And Jedi, yeah, the fact that I'm still up. Usually, you're well past me, but I'm still up at 5:38 a.m. in the Eastern Time Zone. So
I'm sorry,
we got 8
Jedi. I
people
wasn't
watching.
there, but I was here talking with Dad Man in the gang. That's why I wasn't at Jedi's.
I
I
know.
usually hang out with him on
I
Saturday.
know. There's usually I'm sawing logs by this point every night. But hey, I could do this. This tomorrow. I'd be getting up to go to work in about an hour and a half. So
Ouch.
Am I
At least-
supposed to go to bed, Avery?
At least I get to sleep. So, well,
Right.
folks, any other thoughts? Lisa, did you finish your thought before we?
I don't know. You cut me off. I don't remember.
No, you talked about the
I'm
universe.
kidding.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
kidding.
Well, I got to make up.
You
for
are
it.
tired. Oh my.
Well, I know how to make up for things. I like my guests. I like having. We got 5 guests here. We've got 21 likes on the YouTube side, 2 subs. Hungry's just laughing his ass off. So
Hungry cracks me
now
up.
you know
I
what?
love him.
If no, the key test if a Hungry will tell me like Monday or Tuesday night, and say, "Dad, man, you want to stream?" It's like 2:00 in the morning here. It's like. Okay, then that'll be a true test if I do it then. But make sure if you have not voted on our poll on the YouTube side, what is your favorite pie? Cherry pie, chocolate cream pie, lemon pie, or key lime pie? Please, somebody vote because we are got
Jedi,
ties.
go for chocolate.
Oh, right, Kitty. Yeah, fall asleep. Awesome. All right. So, yeah, somebody, if you haven't voted, go ahead and vote. Well,
Woody.
with that, what? What, Hungry?
Putty. Eagle's got a putty. She got a putty.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
her
I
name is
thought I
Ornery.
I love that. I love that. What a good putty. That's a good putty. Good putty. Yes,
That-
putty. I'm looking at you, putty. I
She's
am
trying to get ready to go
admiring
cuddle.
Putty.
Oh,
Mama, I want to go to bed.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's too funny. Well, look, we got 20 minutes for 6:00, and we got even more people. We got 9 people, Lisa. 7 minutes for 3 hours, 30 minutes, Lisa. You need me and my numbers, so
You want me to keep talking for 7 minutes? I could come up with something.
oh,
Do it.
I'm-
Do it.
oh, gosh.
I love
I should go to bed before I fall out of the chair because I've kind of been hitting the wall about 6 times here
right.
trying to fall
Don't be
over.
All right,
falling
well,
out of
go.
the chair with Cutie.
We'll close up. Go ahead and say goodnight and all that.
Good night,
Everybody,
and I'll say good night
Ryder,
to Ornery.
Bye.
good night. And
Good night.
You
Jessica,
guys have trouble. You guys have fun. Stay out of trouble. And I don't know what the fuck I'm saying anymore.
yeah,
so
go ahead and
I
go to
think-
bed.
Yeah.
I
Ornery,
think
for
the
crap's
medicine's
sakes.
kicked in. Yep, the medicine's kicked in.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Thanks for
Good
coming
night.
in. Good night, Eagle
Bye.
Rider.
Radio.
All right, and
What a
go
good
check
flick.
out Eagle Rider's channel. I'll try to find that in the chat. But yeah, any other thoughts, guys, that y'all have before we start to close up?
I just think it was a wonderful channel, and I love the fact we never got to breakfast cereal. I think that was
And it's
That's
also
so true.
and we took the detour right off the bat. We didn't even get to Bucky's till 2 hours in.
oh
That's
God, that's right.
That's what I think is amazing. So
Just before we go, I want to ask everybody to go back into their mind as a kid and go back to when they were like between 5 and 7 years old and try to remember the breakfast cereal that made them smile. What was it?
King Vitamin, I think it was.
Oh, I remember that.
What's that? Turned out
Yeah.
to be like Captain Crunch after a while, but or I don't know.
But it was King Vitamin first.
With that crown, right?
Yes, I researched this. Yes, it was King Vitamin.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was around 1974.
Crunchy and sugary.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so Red Shirt, what about you?
Oh, my favorite was, you're not going to believe this, was a combination of Raisin Bran and grape nuts with sugar and milk. Lots of sugar.
Oh. Yeah, grape nuts needed sugar for sure.
Oh, God, yeah. That's horse feed.
It is. And a tooth cracker.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you leave it in the milk long enough, it softens up.
An hour later, it's still crunchy.
Okay, Dad Man, what about you? When you were about 6 or 7 years old, what was your favorite cereal?
ooh, at that age,
Captain Crunch?
I really had to say Apple Jacks.
Ooh, Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks. It was close between Apple Jacks and the Cocoa Krispies. And Jedi Base said Cooper. See, we should have done that. We'll have to we'll have to come back another time and really explore this so we can do a poll on that topic. I mean, I should have done it about an hour or two ago. But hey, we didn't get there. But Jedi Bill's Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. But I didn't really like the Cocoa Puffs. I liked the Rice Krispies because they were, I don't know, being smaller or whatever. But hey,
Wait, when you were 5 or 7, was it just regular Rice Krispies? Did they even have flavors back?
Oh,
when
they
you
had-
were young?
yeah, I think they were bringing out flavors with some of those back then. I think that they were coming out and
Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah.
They
Fruity
had-
Oh,
Pebbles.
yeah.
Fruity Pebbles.
Hungry,
that
what was
stuff.
your favorite?
Okay, all right. I had a lot. I was a cereal kid. I have to admit, I liked it. And we had the stuff in Australia. Which
By the
was-
way, Cardi is back. Hi,
Ah,
Cardi.
back.
Hey, Cardi.
Hey, Cardi. Hello. But we had repackaged versions with new names of American cereals. So we had the American cereals, but they had different names. But
Mhm.
I'm just gonna go with the American names. Okay, so the one I loved best was Cocoa Puffs because I'm a chocolate addict. And
Ah,
I love that. I love Cocoa Puffs. That was just brilliant. And Cocoa Pebbles, that was okay. But we also had a version, the Australian version of Captain Crunch, which was delightful.
yeah.
I do
And
want to say something real quick, though. I need to say when Jeff came in earlier, we got rated on the Twitch side. My apologies for not shouting that out specifically, Jeff, because Jess came out on that raid. So I wanted to say that. Thank you, though. Go ahead, Hungry. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. But I mean, there were a lot of cereals. Like we also had the Australian version of Cookie Crisp, which is a ridiculous cereal. I won't go into that until another stream.
Mhm.
But we had something that was equivalent to, and the American version was much, much better. And I was eating this in my 20s. Honeycomb. Honeycomb was
Oh yeah,
honeycomb was
Sugar
great.
Smacks was another one, wasn't it?
Sugar
Oh, that
Smacks.
was delicious.
Yeah. Then they just changed the name to Smacks. So,
Yeah.
like, what the hell? That's a ripoff.
politically correct reasons. Yeah.
But they always had the what is that, shredded wheat?
Oh
It
God, yeah.
That was like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And like,
Right.
if you had a heart attack, every adult was ordered to eat it.
Well,
Yep.
that's why you get the frosted shredded wheat. or
Well,
frosted
now you
vinegar.
do, but back then I think it was unfrosted.
It was.
It was just like a biscuit.
hay. It
Yeah,
was eating hay.
yes,
I
it
know.
was,
It has the grain of hay, really.
Yes.
and it was big too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Not
It's
like
big.
the cute little ones they have
Yeah,
with frosting.
Now they
on
have the
it.
mini. I don't know. Can you find the big ones anymore? Because all I
I
see
don't
are the
think
mini
so.
wheats.
I haven't seen it, but then again, I never looked either.
Yeah.
We've had
I'm
that
not about to.
crap in Australia since 1928. And it is just nasty and it'll just ruin the top of your mouth. The roof
Yeah,
of your mouth.
scratching it.
Yep.
Oh my
You know what
gosh.
does that to me is Lucky Charms.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
Lucky Charms always scrape the roof of my mouth too.
fair enough.
I don't know why.
Now
Maybe
I got a
didn't let it
question.
soak long enough.
I got a question for Hungry Boy.
Oh.
About an hour ago, you retweeted out that we were going, and you said 10 topics covered till now. And that's an hour ago. How many topics are we up to now?
2.
20.
20? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
This was a great stream, dude. This was just like a total like a road to nowhere, free consciousness, flowing stream. I love it.
Well, it's like the missing I do with our detours. They really are. A lot of times they're truly detours, you know. Like
Yeah.
several of them, like that Horseshoe Bend, when the last Battlefields was like a complete. Truly, we were driving down to get home, and we're like, "Oh crap, there's a sign," and we're like, "What is this?" And then we found out about it and looked at that, and you know, it just and you know, that's about the journey, getting there and just having fun with this stuff and seeing where it goes instead of being, you know, there'll be times to script because I've got to sit my butt down finally and focus on the football coming up because I do need to kind of script a little more frameworks, but. I love these hanging out, chatting, and talking with people, and just letting it go, and everybody can say what they want to say, and you know, and come together and just have fun and be positive. I mean, you know, we can disagree on things, but still be positive about it. You know, we can have different ways of looking at things, but you know, and we can get kind of heated, like when I get about Maul, you know, but you know. But then again, we have fun together at the end of the day, and I think that's where we keep some of the fun is by just seeing where the conversation goes. Like, you know, we're using the force, you know, take it where it goes us, you know,
I
and
agree with that. And one of my favorite streams of yours, and I loved it, is when we had about an hour talking about the Civil War cannons, and then the missus comes on and talks about quilting and explaining where quilting comes from.
right.
And I have watched that stream about 3 times. I love it. I love it. That is where my heart is at, where one area of thought goes to another area of thought and another art form. Okay, because I know people don't like hearing this. I know they don't like hearing this, but creating something like a cannon.
Hi, Rod.
Yes, Rod's here. Hey, sorry.
I'm very
Rod,
hungry.
Rod, but
Rod
it
doesn't
is
hurt. And good night.
creating
Good night,
a
Fallout.
cannon. The way you explained it and the way you let us know how those cannons in the Civil War were used, that is an art form. And the fact that those guys could let off a cannon shot in less than 3 minutes, 3 minutes, and then reload and do it again in 3 minutes, that was fantastic. But the missus talking about the quilting, that was equally artistic.
That was fascinating.
Floated
Well,
my
she-
boat, man.
she's so fascinating. All she did because she was that passionate in the museum too.
Dan, what stream was it that you asked me if I had $500 laying around?
I don't remember.
You wanted me to buy a cannon?
Yeah, it was one of those streams. Yeah, that's right. I mean, if you get the gun, I'll buy the carriage.
Oh,
So-
listen.
So hungry. He asked me randomly out of nowhere,
Yeah.
"Hey, you got $500?"
Yeah, I
man?
did. I remember that now. Yeah.
Why don't you buy me a cannon? I'm like,
But
okay.
that's the art form of being a show host, is getting everybody to buy stuff for you. But
It was
it's,
hilarious.
hey,
It's like,
it's
good luck with money in
delegation.
the cart.
It's delegation.
I
Dad,
could
man,
see
you're
Dad
on your own when it comes to cannons.
Hey, I know. Well, you know what?
He's Batman.
I there is another guy out there. I won't mention who it was. That messaged me about how the cannon was piping up in at this chat that night that could appreciate it. So yeah, it's for some, not for all. You got different uses. I'm going to probably try to focus more on, do a little more in depth on it, because all that stuff came together. What shot you used, the fuses, all that stuff together. It was really incredible at Wilson's Creek with the
I
detail.
could see you having the cannon in your front yard and getting a cart, and the
Okay.
neighbors piss you off, and then you
Yep.
walk your little cannon towards the backyard.
Well, yes, and you know what? Hold on. Thank you to the great Mod Jess. I got something for you.
Oh boy.
Oh, cool.
I've got to find it. I know she had tweeted to me. I'm trying to pull up. Yep. Fuck. All right. Cool. Let me see if I can pull up the story, but because Fox News hates my browser protectors. Let me see if it's gonna. Yep. Of course, jackasses. I don't want to thing here. I'll find a different story. Okay. All right. Let's see. Here we go. All right. All right, folks. Here, and we do. Okay. Let's just remember this. Flix Flax. Jedi said, I don't remember a Flix Flax
Oh.
cookie.
No. Mm-mm.
Mm. Now, folks, we do not encourage anything in real life use of cannons. Only reenactors, trained professionals, and stuff like that here at Batman 55. So, but
Yep.
this new story,
It's a prop.
if you buy a functioning one, you can actually,
Well, I know,
Use
but
it.
for YouTube, it's
Yeah.
a prop.
yes, as a prop. So,
Does not work.
I'm going to read the story for you from December 30th, 2018. Man arrested for using Civil War cannon in neighbor dispute, like one does. Hungry, you still with me?
Oh, I'm with you, brother.
As
Red shirt.
you do.
All right. Well, hey, it's in a. Let's see where this goes. Let's see where this goes.
You're gonna crack me up. I'm gonna go mute.
Oh gosh, there you go. Go mute. Hey,
No.
I got my cannon. And I'm going to use it. So, I'll bring up the article real quickly. It's Civil warhistoryonline.com. Basically, it said, knowing neighbors, should someone be playing music too loud 3 doors down, typically knock on the door. However, in more rural parts of the USA, neighbors might have a bit more leeway. South of Buffalo, New York, close to the border of Pennsylvania, is a town of Canton. One resident was so outraged by the conduct of his neighbors, he took out his replica Civil War cannon and fired it across his fence for 8 days. The cannon was loaded with only powder and wadding, so it technically was no more dangerous than a bird-scaring device. However, the discharge could be heard for miles around, so eventually he was arrested and charged. While it is not illegal to own a cannon in New York State, deputies seized the weapon since it was being used maliciously. So, there you go.
I
So-
do not agree with him being charged.
I know, and that's a different part. But we talked cannon. We talked about pulling it out and using it. We got a real life story for you. Thanks, Jess, for sharing that one. So,
Fantastic. But I do not think he should have suffered any repercussions.
well, I think it's the loud noise type thing. And apparently, if they let him go on for 8 days, probably a day or two, they might have. Well, I mean, even if you cite him, but don't take the cannon away, But,
right.
yeah, exactly. You just give him the fine. And oh gosh, Jedi Bill, I think I've heard of somebody saying you would like the Grandpa in Sweet Home Alabama shooting and Bill from the cannon. I heard about that. Somebody, I think in the chat, talked about that the other night when we had that stream. So, but hey, all right, guys, we made it not only beyond the 3:30 mark. I need to just make sure Red Shirt can get back. But thank you for
Yeah, I'm here.
everybody. Okay. Thanks everybody for being here. We've taken so many damn detours tonight. I'm going to close the poll, Lisa. Yes. Yeah, we got 22
Yay.
votes. So I'm closing it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make sure y'all hit the like button. We got 22 likes, 22 votes. We've had a lot of people on the Twitch side. So what is your favorite pie? Chocolate cream pie wins with 31%.
Yay.
Cherry pie second with 27, lemon pie 22, and key lime last at 18.
Well,
What's
you
that?
could kind of combine key lime with lemon, so maybe the citrus one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, all we
But I
needed
like
was,
chocolate. Thanks everybody for voting for that one.
there
I'll
you
send you
go.
$1 in the mail.
I,
And also, Lisa,
Yeah.
we know that Neelix would make a supreme
Oh my
chocolate
God.
pie.
He would put spice in it to the point where nobody but him can eat it.
oh my God, I have no idea who y'all are talking about.
Neelix from Voyager.
Oh, okay. I've not yet watched this series yet. So
I mean, Lisa will understand what I mean. I'm just sick of the Neelix hate, right? I'm sick of it.
Yeah. You said he's more of a catalyst and a helper.
He's brown in space. He just wants love. That's all.
Did you Hungry, did you watch the 4 episodes for tonight?
No, I saw them when they came out, but I can't find anything online where I can watch them again.
Well, the last episode for tonight actually had Neelix species, but it wasn't Neelix.
Oh.
And he was just as annoying as Neelix was, but nobody pointed that out for the reviews.
wow.
So it's not really Neelix's fault, but his species is just annoying.
I understand, but you like Voyager, so I just feel that he's accidentally annoying because of his species.
I think it's his species is just meant to be annoying. It's seriously.
It's not like the Jar Jar who happened to be just annoying because he's Jar Jar. So
It's probably equally as bad.
well, equal as bad, but not all the Gungans were like Jar Jar though. You had Captain Tarpals and Boss
Well,
Nass.
True. Jar Jar never shut up.
No,
No.
no. Oh, can you imagine if Lucas had made him Sith? But hey,
Oh,
we won't try that. We won't go down that
I
avenue.
think the audience would have loved that. Because we all hated him. So why not make him a Sith?
It'd
And
be
then
your
we would
perfect
love
bag.
him for being evil.
Your
Yep.
perfect bad guy. You wouldn't have expected it coming. You know.
I would totally write that. And it would be very popular, I think.
I think so too. So,
Let's do it. Let's write it.
all right.
You act it, and I'll direct it.
There you go. All right, folks. I think on that note, we're gonna start to wrap it up. We're at 5:59 a.m. on the East Coast. The missus just walked past.
She probably rolled her eyes. Like,
I
what the
don't
hell are
even
you
think she's
doing?
half asleep. She's like, and look at it. We got now 10 people here. How do you stop when you keep coming in?
You keep bringing me back. Oh my God.
Gosh, it's all. Thank God I shut the poll down because we'd still be getting votes, but 22 votes. Thank you, folks. We've actually got 22 likes. Thanks for everybody.
Hey,
Yeah.
not bad. Your poll's been up for over 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it's okay. Hi, Mrs. So I agree. Hey, it's time to get medical treatment on that. So, but folks, I get Lisa. Thanks for being here. Red Shirt, Hungry. If y'all got anything to say, what y'all are doing, y'all got any final words?
Thank you for having me. It was a blast.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the invite. And on Tuesday evening at 9 p.m., I'll be on 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser's channel on Toxic Tuesday, talking about a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie called Hard Target.
Oh, great film.
There should be the hilarity should be contagious. So
It's-
check it out.
Which one is that? There was one that it was like in a sports arena. Is that a different one?
I actually haven't seen this one. I'm going to be watching
wow.
it before the show. But we just finished up a Chuck Norris month, and then he took a hiatus. So we're coming back with a vengeance on Tuesday.
All I
With
can think of is
Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude is doing the splits.
If he doesn't, it's not a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Exactly. It's his signature
Yes.
move.
Yep.
Yep, and Cherry did beat Lemon. Yes.
But Richard, the favorite movie they ever showed on Nick Weiser's, for me, was Zardoz. I love it. I fucking love
I thought that was Revenge of the Nerds was my favorite. Stream. Not the best movie, but the stream was just hilarious.
Oh man, we could get it all in a top show about movies you can't make nowadays with things like that. Those movies.
Porky
sometimes.
was another one, right? Dad?
So-
Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
did that.
What's that?
And you can't do Trilogy of Terror anymore either.
I
I
know.
was doing
No.
it for you.
It's crazy. So, Hungry, you got anything to say, or you just want to? How do you want to?
I just love the guests. I'm so glad we did this tonight. I mean, it was impromptu.
Yeah, you got Eagle Rider was here. JT Kirk was here on the panel with us.
I mean, it came out of nowhere. You know, you messaged me. I basically said, "Hey, what about this?" And you're like, "Okay."
And then
Sure.
I get a DM and it's like, hey. And I'm like, I'm so tired, but now I'm wide awake. Thanks, Dad, man.
And,
Yeah,
and
there you go.
I have to say, Dad, man, we did get to cereal. We got to cereal. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yep. Well, hey, that's what happens when the polls stayed up 3.5 hours. You find a way to get you get it all in. Hey. So on that
We
note,
did a
folks,
deep dive with your poll.
exactly.
I
But-
need
but-
pie now. I need
All right.
pie.
Well, hey, listen, folks, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up, but I do want to give a few channel announcements, things coming up this week. It's a big week. Remember, gaming might be coming back the next month or two as I do more of the football. I'll be mixing more than just the Fortnite, but for a while, I'm going to be having a focus on doing some research for some of the shows coming up. And we got guests lined up for all 13 weeks of the college football season. So join us for that as it comes more on that stuff on those streams coming up. In 2 weeks, we'll have our first show featuring the preview for the SEC season coming up. You'll see if I'm negative on my Gators, which I probably am. But in the meantime, we do have stuff coming up this week, starting tomorrow night, or I guess today, later at 5 p.m. Pat S. was on once for 3 hours plus and was not enough time. So Pat will be back with us this afternoon at 5
Yay.
p.m. and join us for that. We're going to be talking more of a collection, specifically what things that we did not get to, which included some great old style cabinet arcade games. So, Rod got it. Thank you. Sudden Death was the movie I was thinking of because I won a prize package from a radio station that had tickets to see that. So that was interesting. So join us later today with Pat. We made it past 6:00. Yay. So we did both, Lisa. On Wednesday night, I don't know if you're familiar with Miss Martin Muses, but we're going to have a chill-in stream with Miss Martin Muses. Come for talk with her about things. Another one of our series of chilling with people, get to know more about her channel, and just sit and hang out. I know one time I've been through a number of her shows. One time she taught Gettysburg. She also taught Normandy. So looking forward to this interview on Wednesday night. All right. Hungry, do you want to introduce Friday night, getting your best announcer voice or excitement? You want to do this one, Hungry? Or I threw it when he's muted. So, well, hey, folks, Friday night, my friends, here it comes. Oh no! Hold on. Got to do this right because the missus worked her ass off on this one. I did not see. That's how improv I went tonight. Was I didn't have the slides lined up that I normally do, but. Let's see with this one.
Am I still here?
Yeah, you're here. I heard you. You went muted for a second, Hungry.
Yep, just a second.
So Hungry, you ready?
Yep.
All right. I want you to introduce this one for me, please. Friday night.
Ooh.
On Friday night, there shall be no mercy. There shall be the pillaging of the village, because M. Night and Shamalama Bing Bong did not have any mercy towards a good script.
Love it. Definitely join us for Friday night. If you like this tonight, you're going to have fun, and we'll have the Mrs. Wide Awake and helping out with this one. Speaking that, we'll get to watch this movie tomorrow. We'll have to watch it. So, and Hungry Boy makes notes of all that he does. So, but like you said, you're going to be honest. You're going to be fair to them where it needs to be. But hey, join us for what is sure to be a riot and a hell of a good time for that.
Dude, I have already got 2 pages of notes.
2
pages of notes.
Does
Wow.
everybody say Shamalama Ding Dong?
I think most people.
I thought it was a private joke for myself, but
No, it was
No.
it's well known.
I think that's pretty much
The new name.
universal now.
He's been relabeled.
Actually,
Yep.
M. Night Shyamalan Bing Bong, I used that euphemism for him in 1999 on a script writing message board. So, yeah.
Oh wow.
Let me see
Because
one
I
second.
despised his ripoffs. I despised them.
I think the sun's starting to come out
Yeah.
outside. So
Are you okay?
I'm going to be good. Depends on about 6 hours how I'm feeling, but at least it's Sunday. Now it'd be cool to go to work now and see
No.
how long it lasts.
You can take a nap before.
I know. I'll have to. Well, I got to start working on football too. That's what's crazy. So, all right, folks. Also, like I said earlier, join us August 19th on Saturday night. I don't know. Probably just do the typical, have some people on talking and crap. And looking back to first, it'll be exactly 1 year to the date that I started streaming my first stream. Go back, look at that first one. Definitely look at the early ones. See how. I still don't know what I'm doing half the time, but you know what? It was just really, really awkward and really had friends. And that's what I think I was touching on that earlier. It's so neat to see a year later, all these new names that a lot of them I've seen in other places now coming by saying hi. And, you know, but those first people, the first 10, 12 close friends and misses really helped get this off the ground and really, really, it's all thinking, you know, just so much coming up. And let me check one last thing here before I go out here because I wanted to update it and see where we are because we had a couple interesting streams early in the week. Yeah, we're back up to 9 watching. Thank you. 21 likes. We got, and like I said, thank you to the 2 new subscribers tonight. So thank you so much for that. We're at 431. Let's see if we can get 19 in 2 weeks, and I don't know. We'll celebrate 450 on the same thing since we blew past 400. So it's just, but hey. Join us for this celebration on it, and we got 8 minutes till do 4 hours, but I think we need to go ahead and call it. So, all right, yeah. So, but thank you. Yeah, Rod says he has a long weekend up here in Canada. All right.
Why is it a long weekend?
It could be a holiday up there, maybe. So 12 of you people here. Thank y'all so much. I mean, it keeps going higher. But thank y'all for being here. Go back, watch the replay, see what you missed earlier. But as always, we are on YouTube and Twitch at DadmanWalking55. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed in case they desubscribe you. Hit the bell for notifications to know when we go live. But honestly, the best way to keep up to date is follow me on Twitter at DadmanWalking55. Usually 99% of the times we do put a stream out, a tweet out with the links and how to get here. And I think I'm hungry for breakfast. I might actually have to wake the missus up now.
Waffle House?
Waffle House. Yeah. I'm starting to,
Uh-oh.
the stomach's starting to grumble. So, but hey, on that note, folks, everybody have a wonderful night. Well, it's not night anymore. It's morning, day. Well, I guess across the pond, it could be something different. And y'all, thank y'all for making a fun night tonight. Lisa, Hungry, Red Shirt, thank y'all for hanging out to the end. And everybody, JT and Eagle Rider again for coming through. And y'all, everybody have a good night, day, morning, whatever it be. Have some fun and see you at 5 o'clock later today
with Pat S. and looking at the collections. Bye, all.
Bye.
Bye.